It's transfer deadline day, which means Hammers Chat are live up until the window closes quietly if you're a West Ham fan. We've got guests throughout the evening. We've got some big West Ham transfer news to kick off the show. A new signing en route for his medical. Maybe that's as exciting as I'm going to get about the transfer. But I want to introduce guest number one for the evening. Charlie!
Hey, you all right? How are you?
I'm okay. No, I'm not actually. I'm disappointed. I was hoping for a bit more today in the deadline. I was hoping for a good centre back and one other. Maybe changing the goalkeeper, Ariola out and a new keeper in. I wasn't that arsed about that one, to be honest with you. I thought we could replace a Gerd and maybe get one more in. I'd be happy. And no one else is coming in, but we do have a replacement for a Gerd. Anyway, how are you? That's the main thing.
I'm good. I'm all good. Very busy. Not paying enough attention to what's going on. So I'm hoping we can get right to the core of it. But yeah, I'm a bit like you. I think for me, I was expecting a centre back one way or the other, and it seems like we're probably going to get that. And then anything else, I was thinking, oh, that'll be a cheeky little bonus. But no cheeky little bonus. It looks like we're just going to get exactly what we thought we would get, and that's about it. And even then, maybe not what some people specifically wanted. So is what it is.
My expectations were low, and I'm still disappointed.
Whereas my expectations were low, and they've been met. We're at the expectations. What more can I ask for, really?
It's the most it's a David Sullivan textbook deadline day for West Ham. Sell someone, get 20 million in for a Gerd. Emerson goes for 500,000, and then offer loans for defenders. So we've got 20 million sat there, but he's not too arsed about spending it by the sounds of it, which is a bit disappointing. In regards to the other transfers, for anyone wondering, the news is that Igor, Brighton's centre-back, left-sided centre-back, can't play left-back, is on his way to West Ham for a medical. He was on the verge of joining Crystal Palace. However, that has fallen through. There's some reports suggesting that Palace are signing another centre-back as well to replace Magassa. And as a result, Igor's thought, hang on a minute, my game time is going to be limited here. I don't really fancy this move. So he's decided to come to West Ham over Crystal Palace. It is a loan move. It's a straight loan. There's no option to buy, no obligation to buy. We will just be borrowing him off Brighton for this season. So that looks like the Gerd replacement. What do you make of that transfer, Charlie?
It's fine, isn't it? Gerd is one of those situations where, like, I wanted him to be so much better than he ever was for West Ham. And if it was going to come to this eventuality specifically, I wish it had happened earlier in the window, where we maybe could have done something a bit different, maybe could have moved some pieces around a little bit to upgrade it, because my big concern is I'm a big Max Kilman fan, but when we're playing three at the back, when we're playing three at the back and we're far forward, he just has this tendency to drop back too much, and it really affects what we're doing, and it can just lead to all kinds of problems. And so him as like an option as a centre back / left centre back when you're playing back three and all that, I'm here for it, but it's not ideal. Again, in theory is ideal, but he just never quite got to those levels. So I'm like, if we got that out, and then we bring in someone else, maybe can do that a bit better. Oh, okay, but we're cooking a little bit here. Igor's fine.
That's it. That's all you. That's
all I got for you, man. It's just fine, isn't it? It's not really like, it's not an upgrade for certain. It's not really that much of a downgrade on the performances we've seen from a Gerd. If anything, it's probably a slight upgrade from the performances we've seen from a Gerd. And so at that point, it's like, yeah, it's fine, but it's not moving me. It's not making me feel something. I'm just going, well, it's a stopgap for now. And I guess given the situation we're in, maybe that is a better scenario than some of the other things we have on the table. But I'm just like, I wanted something a little bit juicier than that. But
yeah. Who in particular? Was there anyone you had in mind?
No, I mean, Hincapié. No, I don't honestly know. That was kind of the problem. We spoke about it quite. No.
Mate, I would have been all for that. I'd be combining you and Aaron Craswell.
The combo no one know they wanted, and definitely no one needed. Here's the thing with him is I would like him in a different scenario. But he, I think, brings a lot of the problems Kilman does in that dropping deep and wanting to defend. Like, when we're in that position, which we found ourselves in way too frequently this year, I'd be a lot happier with Charlie Cresswell in there. He's big, he's strong, good in the air. Bosch, have it. Craig Dawson, a bit younger. Charlie can back that nonsense, right? But when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, what the whole plan is to do, which is to push further up, be in control of the game, all that stuff, I'm looking at him and I'm like, it's not really what we're wanting out of that. It would be good in that it's not relatively expensive, English, young. There's lots of positives to it, but they're less on the pitch positives and more just like meta positives. So I'm just like, you know.
In regards to the rest of the window, though, Callum Wilson, who's looking better than he was 2 weeks ago in terms of a transfer. Fernandez is in. Magassa, who you guys are fans of over at Analytics United. You are fans of Magassa. Well, let me ask you, while you're here, actually, I'll pick your brains on Magassa then, because you'll know a bit more about him than the rest of us, even if it's just secondhand information from your colleagues, but I'm okay with that.
Listen, we work on, what is it, NITK? We work on secondhand information.
Mate,
that's the whole bit, bro.
Proud NITK, I am. But now's a chance for you to plug AU and also let us know what you know about Magassa.
Well, you'll find out a lot more about it over on youtube.com/Analytics United. Check it out. We've done, he was the top pick on Transfer Factory when we did one about ball winners this summer. Yeah, he's young and raw, but the talent is 100% there. And importantly for us, the talent that is already incredibly obvious is his ball winning abilities. And that's sort of what we needed in that role. I mean, you spoke about it quite well when you've done videos on him, right? But as someone who kind of, the obvious comparison would be Declan Rice, because he started off at centre-back and then moved forward into midfield, but carried those qualities forward with him. So it wasn't like he was really good at defending and doing all these things, and then he moved into midfield and started doing completely other things. No, he still is really good at defending in those positions. He's big, he's rangy. His problems, and this is where it's a bit raw, is sometimes I just feel he's a bit lackadaisical on the ball. He's just a bit too casual, and that's great a lot of the time, because you look at him, you go, man, this guy has all the time in the world on the ball. He's got so much space about him. The movement is beautiful. But in the Premier League, he's going to have people directly on top of him while he's trying to do that. And that's going to be a bit scary. But it's one of those ones where he's 21. You're going to expect a couple of issues here and there because he's not played huge amounts of senior football, because Monaco have, I don't know if you've noticed, they have a lot of people, Monaco, lots of midfielders. They're buying Paul Pogba just to get more in. It's a bit of a madness over there. So he hasn't had a huge amount of minutes. So you go, okay, we suffer through it a little bit because all of the benefits he brings to us are massive. And that should fix a lot of our issues. And it will mean that we have a 21-year-old potential French international who's going to be doing absolute bits in the Premier League. We signed him for what is in modern day money, not a lot of money. 2 years' time, we're going to be having the exact same conversations about him potentially that we've had with Kudus and Bowen and Paquetá and all this, where you're like, you can come and buy him if you want, but you're going to have to give him a hell of a lot of money. But we'll see. I'm really excited about him. His defensive qualities in midfield are something that we really desperately need, and he's actually mobile, which is something we don't really have right now.
Let me click on that one for people to read while I do that. If you guys at home have got any questions for Charlie, pop them up into the live chat the next 5-10 minutes with Bevo on the screen. We'll be taking your questions and comments for Charlie. He'll be answering the majority of them because I'm with you for another couple of hours. But Charlie, unfortunately, has to go do a little bit of work. David's been watching you scruff a lot.
Yes, that is us. Well, I'm probably the scruff. You've seen it. I'd probably safely say the scruff factor is higher when I'm on screen than the others. Not to say they don't have any scruff factor to them, but I'm certainly raising that bar quite high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Robert saying, if the paperwork's signed by 7, how long do we have to finish the deal, Charlie?
I've got no idea. How long? 2 hours.
2 hours. It's usually 2 hours. It might. I assume it's still 2 hours. Between 2 and 4 hours is what I would say. No later than 11 p.m., but it might be 9 p.m. It's usually a couple of hours extension you get if you file your deal sheet that says the deal's agreed. We just need to finalize the paperwork. Usually you get a 2-hour extension to go on and complete the rest of the paperwork. Matthew's saying, do you think we will get a striker?
Probably not at this point. It It wouldn't surprise me if there's one last roll of the dice for like a Boniface, but I mean, apart from that, I highly doubt it at this point, unless I really have missed something that's happened in the last hour or so.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. Jacob Steinberg is saying West Ham and Chelsea are in talks over a loan for Disasi, and he put that out literally just 2 minutes ago. Sean's just done a tweet, so let's go see what the club puppet is saying this evening. West Ham football. Let me have a little look. See what his tweet was. There was a picture of Igor attached to it as well. He has said, or he's just retweeting the club in a minute. He said, Sean saying Igor looks set to join West Ham on loan in the next 2 hours. Palace pulled out of the loan deal for Julio Igor after deciding not to sell England centre back Mark Gay to Liverpool, and he's just retweeting West Ham's confirmation that Emerson's gone, that Robinson's gone on loan to Livingston, and Lewis Orford has joined Stevenage on loan for a season. So there you go. That's the latest. The Sassy is back on, and Igor's looking likely, so perhaps we'll end up with 2 loans. Lee saying 11 p.m. on Sky. Go with Sky. We'll say 11 p.m. I was 50-50. I'm happy. Quacks is saying it's 9 p.m. It's 9 or 11. It's one of the two, right? It's
you just got to get a move on. Once it happens, just be step into it. You know what I mean? None of this waiting around.
Mate, we tried to botch selling Fanals and Ben Rama. We didn't upload the information to the computer. An online form, and we screwed that up.
There's the Hammers Chat deadline day stream, you know. You need a bit of drama for it. That's all they're giving us, just a bit of content. That's what we're getting now, you know. What's going to happen? Who knows? Could it be a fax machine? Could it be a rogue email address? Maybe slightly different. Maybe the at's wrong at hotmail.com as opposed to .co.uk. Who knows? These are all options that could be happening in the next 2 hours if you keep tuned in, everybody.
No, Ryan's only just joined, but so is plenty of other people. 1,500 of you watching live. Thank you so much. Ryan's saying, does Charlie think Igor's a good addition to our defence?
He is a welcome addition. That's about all I got for you. It's not something I'm like buzzing about. It's not something I'm going to be, you know, ringing up my mom. Have you seen that? That's not going to be the case. It's going to be more a case of like, he's going to be an option. We'll probably use him occasionally. I suspect it will be Mavro, Max Kilman in the roles that he could play for now, regardless. And then, hey, we needed someone extra, and that's the guy we've got. He sort of works. It is what it is.
Just for confirmation for everyone asking, Igor is the player that let Bowen through on goal in Prague. Yes, he's the one that was chasing Jared Bowen as he ran in on goal to win us the European trophy. So he's had a good impact at West Ham already, even though he's never played for West Ham. He's part of our history.
You know how Gonzo always talks about was it 10-0 Bury game that he went to first game, and he was like, and then we signed the goalkeeper from that game. Yeah. It's very much the modern day version of that, you know.
Yeah, we ignored Milankovic, and now we're finally signing Igor. Just like we ignored Reinders and Kerkez, and there's probably a whole host of names we came up against in European football and just went, nah, we don't need him. We'll just get Igor on loan from Brighton. Andy's asking, could we use Magassa as a stopgap at the back?
Could we? I suppose we could. Would I expect it? Probably not. I think the midfield needs it more, and where he would be on the right probably. And if we're playing a back three, he would be on the right because he played in a back three at Monaco, and the back three has Mavro, Todibo. You could arguably play Wan-Bissaka there. You could even arguably, if you really wanted to, play Walker Peters there. So I suspect it wouldn't be high up on the list, but there's a possibility, I guess, if we needed it.
I was going to ask you that. If you knew, so obviously he's played centre back for Monaco and quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you've just referenced him playing in a back three for Monaco. Does he have experience in playing in a back four for Monaco? Is it primarily a back three?
I didn't. Well, I would have seen him, but it's one of those ones that you say where it's like you saw him, but you didn't pay attention to him when it was sort of happening, right? I don't believe so. I don't remember seeing it. But I don't remember reading about it in recent weeks. I think it was always a back three scenario before moving forward.
Interesting. So we get a guy then that can play centre back in a back three, then we switch formation the day after he signs.
I mean, to be fair, I think we're going to see back three a lot more than most people would want this summer.
Yeah,
this season. I think that's going to be the main thing. So
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be inclined to switch his formation back a little bit as well. Anyway, Charlie, I'm not going to keep you because I know you're busy this evening and you've got videos to go and do. But I want to say a massive thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Pleasure to have you as always. And hopefully I'll see you again on Christmas Day.
Yeah, we'll be back for Christmas. Subscribe to Hammers Chat if you haven't already, everyone. Patreon.com/Hammers Chat, all that good stuff. Link in the description below.
He remembers.
Listen, it's all there. It's all there still. You don't do that many watch-alongs that live for that long to not.
Yesterday's watch-along. There's a new watch-along.
I'm watching them. You're killing the game out there. There was a couple of comments on AE recently about trying to tell you to talk less about West Ham because that's the key to it, apparently, according to the comment section. That's the only thing. I've been enjoying it personally. I think it's.
They were giving me. They were telling me what you did. There was a minute's applause, and I said, "What do we do during a minute's applause?" And I watch along, and then people were saying that you spoke about wrestling. Some people were saying you flashed your nipples. Whatever else, it was good. It was fun. I liked it. So according to the subscribers, you stripped during a minute's applause, a tribute for a dead person. You'd get your kit off, talk about wrestling, and eat baby bells. That's
one of those is probably true, but it sounds a lot like something GP would say. It sounds a lot like something GP would say.
It wasn't even him who was arresting him. He's behaving recently. It's the rest of them that were misbehaving. But Charlie, thank you so much. And it's only 3.5 months till Christmas, so I'll see you in 3.5 months.
Dangerously close. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Charlie. Thank you very much. Right then, don't worry, I've got more guests for you coming up this evening. I'm here till 7 p.m. You're stuck with me till 7 p.m., but there's plenty more people coming up along the way. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and please do drop a like on the video as well. Lee, no, Charlie's not too big time. Charlie's always around. He's just busy. Right then, just want to say thank you to Greg for the £25 for us both to have a cheeky Chinese. Had one last night. Thanks to you a lot. It was delicious. Jonathan, thank you for the £5 super chat. And Dan as well, 69 out of 10 window now that Charlie has made an appearance. And then Ben saying Earthy could be going out on loan. That would be disappointing. I've seen the news that Earthy's got quite a few offers, the likes of Bristol City, West Brom. He's got quite a few Championship clubs willing to take him on loan. I'm looking forward to seeing George Earthy at West Ham this season. I'm okay with Orford going out on loan. He's joined Stevenage. I'm fine with that loan move, but I don't want to see Potts, Scarles, or Earthy go out on loan. Marshall, I'm 50-50 with. I think I'd be inclined to keep him until January, at least, Callum Marshall, because I think there's a good chance one of our strikers are going to get injured, possibly even both of them. So there may be an opportunity for him at some point. But certainly Earthy, I would like to retain at West Ham. I think he might get an opportunity. Good player. He just gets injured at a bad time. He got injured at a bad time in Bristol City. Now he's got injured at a bad time with West Ham missing pre-season. Ryan would like to see Earthy. Yeah, so we still might do. Alfie says he needs to be involved. The problem is for Potter, and I'm going to defend Potter here, is that he hasn't seen George Earthy. He's not really seen him. Last season, he was at Bristol City. Then in pre-season, he's been injured. So Potter hasn't been able to utilize him in a game format. He's not been able to have a look at him. But if I was Earthy and I'm looking at it, I'm watching Potts smash it pre-season and I've got loan offers there, I'm more than likely want to go out on loan. If I'm George Earthy, I'm maybe looking at that loan move thinking I fancy one of them actually, because Potts ain't getting minutes and he was heavily involved in pre-season. Scarles was involved last season, not getting any minutes. So if I'm Earthy, I'm thinking there's probably a chance I'm not going to get played very often, especially with Fernandez at the club now as well. I'd be looking to go out on loan. But personally, I would hope to keep him around. Graham said he was ready last season. John saying keep Marshall if we don't sign any striker. Law's asking about Igor. It's a loan. It's a straight loan move. David said Earthy must stay. Like myself, Scarles, Marshall, and Potts, he wants them to stay as well. Nick saying, do you think Todibo could be the new Gerd? Really good player, not to say to Premier League. Yeah, I do. Put it this way, if at the end of the season someone said to you, you've got 35 million for Todibo, will we buy him or will we not? I think most people would have said, actually, don't buy him, not at that price. There's better players out there. So that's the one. YouTube user saying, Is that Igor that was on his way to Palace? If so, incredibly underwhelming and disappointing. Yes, it was that way. Oliver saying, do we prefer Disasi or Igor? To be honest with you, neither. I'm not a fan of either of them. I don't like either of them. I don't think either of them are good enough. I find it disappointing. We've sold a Gerd for nearly 20 million, which is good. And then we're trying to get players in on loan. That's the bit that's frustrating. Because when you're restricting yourself to the loan market, then you're going to have a bit of an issue, aren't you? We tried to get Charlie Creswell apparently, and I think with that, I'm like, you're just maybe going to have to just up the obligation to buy. You know, apparently they want 17 million, we're offering 13. You don't even have to pay it now. You pay. Yes, it's an issue next summer that you're going to have, but you can always put in there that it's depending on Premier League survival. But then saying that if we got relegated, Charlie Creswell's possibly exactly the type of centre back that you want in your team in that league to get us back up first time round. Right then, we've got some bad news here. Connor, who's one of our moderators, really trustworthy. I know that he doesn't spam or put fake news in the chat. Connor says Palace pulled out of the Igor deal because of an issue with his medical. Right, okay. Dan says classic West Ham picking up failed medical players. Brilliant. Chris, thank you for the £5 super chat and the support. This live stream has no adverts during it. You should have one before, but not during the live stream. Thanks to people like Chris. Says, what's the chance of Boniface coming in? Any ideas? He was unreal for the season, so I'm all for this one. Have a super chat. The content is quality. Well, I appreciate your support. I don't think we're going to get anyone like Boniface, like any strikers or anything like that. It looks like we're after a centre back, and that is it. Which is very underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. I was hoping for at least 2 today, so that's a bit frustrating. Charlie's saying that that's just not true, though, is it? What's not true, Charlie? Pop in what's not true, please. I don't know what you're referring to. Daniel saying Igor's failed his medical. Jake saying if he had failed his medical, we wouldn't be going for him. It's Ed Aarons that's saying that he failed his medical. Charlie's saying it's nothing to do with the medical. We'll wait and see. Ed Aarons is claiming it is. I don't know if Ed Aarons is a good journalist or not, though. Couldn't tell you. Ryan saying Emerson only went for $1 million. It wasn't even $1 million. It's we didn't even get $1 million. It was near $500,000 we've got. Part of that $1 million is add-ons. I think it's about 850k total package, and we're guaranteed $500,000 of it, and that's it. It was a really bad transfer. I'm surprised that we've not got more money than that, to be honest with you. Terror saying the Gerd still hasn't been announced. I'd imagine it'll be okay. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Anyway, before we get the next guest on, he should be along in 5 minutes' time. We were meant to have a guest, but a couple of them have had to pull out at late notice. Not their fault. It's not the end of the world. And I just want to point in the direction of our online store. We are closing our online store down tonight, and we've got some things here that I've put up. Just so you know, Nick, Gonzo will be here. He's going to be at the end. The reason Gonzo's not here at the minute is because we had guests lined up for the whole show, but a couple of them had to pull out. So this is a bit between Charlie and the next guest is the bit where someone else was due on, but he is stuck in traffic, so he's just not going to make it. We've got some things on the online store, and basically over the years when we buy stuff, sometimes when things arrive, I'm not happy with the condition, and as a result, I won't sell it or give it away or anything like that. So I'm sort of stuck with stuff. So I put it on the online store, and it's what I think is cheap. But what we're going to do between now and 7 o'clock is make it cheaper so that hopefully we can sell it. So it's a bit of a clear out, all right? So hammerschatstore.com. Now, there's only one of each of these things, so I'm telling you now. So I've got this jacket here, signed by Manuel Pellegrini, right? So we got it. Someone won it in a charity raffle, didn't claim it, never wanted it, never got in touch with us, so we're stuck with it. So this is a West Ham jacket signed by Manuel Pellegrini. That's on the online store. Can't remember how much I put it up for. We've got this t-shirt here, signed shirt. If anyone wants that, it's on the online store. Obviously, I can't give it away. I can't put that. It was a prize, but by the time the prize was won, it left. Someone might want it. It's on the online store. It's going cheap. Next up, we've got a Mark Noble signed shirt. It's a signed Mark Noble shirt, but there's a mark on the sleeve. There's a mark on the sleeve. That's why, again, I can't do this as a giveaway or anything like that because it's damaged goods. So it's a signed Mark Noble shirt, but there is a mark on it. Okay, so if you're going to buy it, be prepared. There's a mark on it. Next up, we've got a signed Joe Cole shirt. Right, signed Joe Cole shirt. It is signed by Joe. I know his signature. That's the signature is okay. The reason we're giving this, well, I say giving it away. The reason it's up for sale for cheap, it's a fake shirt that some twat has got the number. So what they do is they stand outside the training ground or whatever with the digits and get, well, not Joe Cole out the training ground, but they had the number 6. Joe signed the number 6. Then they went and got cheap ass shirts and printed it on it. So they've gone and got Joe Cole to sign it, then stuck it on a fake shirt. Can't do that as a giveaway. So that's on the store if anyone wants a shirt signed by Joe Cole. Jared Bowen signed shirt. It's only because he signed his shirt rather than the number. I prefer it when he signs the number. He's a bit funny, Bowen, about signing the numbers. But there's a signed Jared Bowen shirt. I promise you, there's only one more shirt to go. I made a mistake when I bought this. I didn't read the description properly. I thought I got a bargain. Now I know why it was cheaper. So this shirt is signed by all the players. So you can see Billy Bonds there, David Cross there, Ray Stewart. So this is a shirt that's signed by all the players from the 1980 FA Cup. The reason it's up for sale and it's cheap for what we think it is just because it's hard to show you. It's a bit yellow. If you turn the light off, you might be able to see it. You can't really. It's obviously been in a frame in the sun, and it's got a little bit yellow, so it's not in perfect condition. I'm trying to show you, but it's hard to show you. I promise you, it's just got like a yellow twin tinge to it. I don't know how to show you with the light and stuff, but anyway, it's all authentic. The shirt, it's a score draw shirt signed by all the players. Again, I know the signatures. Phil Parks there. So I recognize the signatures. The signatures are genuine. I think it's just been sat in a frame in front of the sun, so it's got that yellow thing. And lastly, we've got 2 of these signed Julian Dix armbands. There's nothing wrong with them. Again, when we get things signed by players, you can't just say to Julian, "Can you sign one?" You've got to get him to sign a large quantity. So we've got quite a few signed Julian Dix armbands. So we're selling 2 just to bring some money into the Hammers Chat. So there you go, hammerschatstore.com. Thank you very much for putting up with me and plugging them. And you can't see them. If you go into the store and then go into the second one, I think it says closing down sale or something. They're all there. I have checked. They are all there. There's quite a lot of stuff up for sale. We need stuff to go, including these bloody Christmas jumpers. Got 6 of these, double XL, 6 of them, and there's 1 extra small Christmas jumper. I need them all gone tonight. We'll be giving these away for about £2 at the end of the night if we have to. But if you're a double XL and you want a Christmas jumper, go to hammerschatstore.com. Someone's ordered something. What we sold? Is it the Caduce shirt? Is it the Caduce shirt? No, it's the Mark Noble shirt. Well done, Paul. You were quick. Paul's got the Mark Noble shirt. Well done, Paul. There you go. Charlie said everything must go section corners there, but have a look around the whole site. Have a look around the whole site. This is the last chance you can grab anything off the online store. It's closing down tonight. Vroom, gone. Oddballs, boxers, coasters, whatever. Go have a look. It's going tonight. Right then. Mike's saying it's us and Bournemouth going head to head for Disassi. Alan saying Fabrizio Romano has just completed his medical at Werder Bremen. Daniel, why is it closing? Just life. I'm freeing up time. I want to free up time. It takes me ages to do stuff for the online store. things have just got a bit like stale, got stuff to do with Prague on there. So I'm shutting it down just to get rid of stuff that takes me ages to do, really. That's all. Bit sad, but it's gone. Anyway, you ready for the next guest? Well, I hope so, because he's coming on whether you're ready or not. Sloth, how's it going?
It's all right. I mean, I had a helicopter flying down right by my house earlier, and now I've seemed to have the heavens opened and it's chucking it down. No, like nobody's business.
Well, it's raining transfer rumours at the minute. Disassi, Igor, do you have a preference? Are you happy with either? Or are you unhappy with both?
To tell you the truth, G, I just don't understand it. You know, this is a classic case of David Sullivan snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, because I think Charlie Cresswell would have been a lot of fans' preferred option. You know, I think they would have been quite happy with Cresswell, and he fits a lot of the values that the club have or like the fans want in their centre back. You know, gets their head on the end of everything, and you know, works really hard, offers a threat from set pieces as well. But no, we've looked like we've skimped out of it because the final fee would be too high. Yet we're now looking at a Chelsea reject who's going to be on way higher wages than Cresswell. I'm talking like 2 or 3 times higher wages than Cresswell or Igor. And look, Disassi's all right in the air. He's all right in the air, but Igor is catastrophic in the air. Like he's not a good aerial defender. So we've watched us start the season, and then we've gone, do you know what we need? It's a centre back who's bad in the air. Like, it's baffling. And I know for a fact that Graham Potter is fuming about this, because he and Macaulay both wanted either. It was Taylor Harwood Bellis, Cresswell, or I think Disassi may have been one of them, and they wanted at least sort of 2 players in, but he will not be happy with the fact that David Sullivan's essentially just done a Sullivan and gone, here's a gift, here's Igor, you know, Brazilian centre back. You know, I you know how much I love Brazilians. Here's a Brazilian. So I'm just baffled by it, to be honest, and I shouldn't be surprised by anything we do on deadline day anymore. But it's it's just the blind leading the the blind at the moment. And
it's the incompetent leading the incompetent, isn't it? And I think part of my frustration, Sloth, is that it feels like the Cresswell deal is there if we want to make it happen. It's not like Harry Maguire a couple of years ago when we were going after him and he was basically saying, I don't want to come to West Ham, like, leave me alone, basically. And we were like, yeah, but come on. And he was saying no. And it was almost like a deal that was just too difficult to get done. With the Cresswell one, what we're hearing from the French side of things is that they are willing to do business. They're willing to sell him, even alone with an obligation. They're still willing to consider that, as long as the obligation fee reflects what they were wanting for a permanent transfer, which is 17 million. And obviously, we've gone and sold a Gerd for just over 17 million potentially. So I think my frustration is it doesn't feel like an unrealistic one. And like you said, with Disassi's wages will be huge. And also Chelsea will be getting a loan fee for Disassi as well. They're not going to be giving him to us for free. They are a well-run, whether you like them or not, they are well-run when it comes to the financial side of it. They know what they're doing. They're not mugs. They know every single loophole. They know exactly how to play it. And they'll be playing us. And I think that's where my frustration comes in. One player we were linked to earlier, who I was hoping you've perhaps heard of, is the German under-21 international Bright someone another from Braga.
Just call him 8. That's like a good way to cut it down. Like Braga. Braga are on my bucket list. I want to go and watch a stadium, a game at the stadium there. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's basically just got a sheer cliffside
Yeah.
at one end of the ground. But he's impressive. I think it was rumored to be a loan with an obligation, but he's left-footed. He's a big physical unit, and he's good on the ball. A couple of people kind of said, "Oh yeah, but his stats are quite low in the air," and it's like, well, yeah, because he plays for Braga, and they're a decent side in Portugal, and also the only real sort of aerial defending that you do in Portugal is set pieces and free kicks. You know, it's corners, that kind of thing. So they're going to be quite low in relation to a lot of the rest of Europe. And I think he would have been a good smart buy. He did actually have a trial at West Ham. I know people are saying, "Oh, he played for." He had a trial essentially when he was 15. And he went in the under 18s. So that should give you an idea of sort of how highly rated he is. I think he's kind of gone on a journey to play football as opposed to just sitting on the benches somewhere. And I really think that would have been a good low cost replacement for Aguerd, but I don't know. It doesn't look like we're going to push for it in any way. And I think that sounds like it was mostly agent led, but
Yeah.
he could cover left back, he could cover either side of the defence, but he would have also technically qualified as homegrown. So I'm not quite sure if they were asking a bit too much or what. But again, this is another one where, in relation to the options that we have now, Igor or Disassi, when you look at the cost of a deal of getting a player like this, it's low risk and potentially high reward, as opposed to quite high high risk, particularly with someone like Igor, who was out last season for quite a long period of time injured, or Disassi, who, whether he decides to turn up is kind of written in the stars. It's up for grabs, and I don't really understand the decision making at all.
Do you have a preference out of Disassi and Igor? If you had to choose one, do you have a preference?
I'd probably say Disassi, just because I think at one point in his career, particularly when he was at Monaco, he was a player who I think lots of people looked at and said there is a very good, capable defender there, someone who will get stuck in, has a decent turn of pace, but is physically imposing and really sort of able to outmuscle his opponents easily. He would be my choice out of the two. But again, I just don't really get it. And there's also a couple of rumours going around that there's complications with Igor's medical.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite. I just think this is the most David Sullivan ending to the window possible, where he's just gone, "Oh no, I know best," and decided that he's going to pick the targets instead of the people in charge. And yeah,
Well, the latest rumours are, according to ex-West Ham employee, that Igor has an option to buy. So it's not just a straight loan anymore. There is an option to buy him there for us. I'll be joined in about 20 minutes, half an hour. I will be joined by a Brighton fan to get his opinion on Igor. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not even going to hint as to what it might be. But you'll be able to ask questions to a Brighton fan in the live chat if you want regarding Igor, because I thought that this may be the centre back we get. So I took it upon myself to invite him onto the show, and he said he's more than happy to come on. And so that would be interesting. If you have any questions for Sloth over the next 5 minutes, so get it into the live chat. Sloth is from Babbling Irons. It's a YouTube channel for West Ham fans, a much calmer sort of statistical outlook on transfer rumours and matches and what you receive here on Hammer Chat. So they offer something different to what we do. But we do work with them every single week over on our Patreon. But go onto the YouTube search bar, put in Babbling Irons, and make sure you go and subscribe. Jamie's saying, who's his agent, or can we guess? Surely it's not. Nah, I think if it was a salty special, we'd know about it by now. I think it would that would have been one of the first things to come out.
I think this is a Silkman recommendation rather than a Salthouse special.
I will say I'm surprised Brighton are doing business with us after Evan Ferguson. I'm surprised that they've gone, oh yeah, we'll send a player on loan to West Ham, given that they gave us Ferguson, we didn't play him, and apparently they were raging with us. So this isn't the actions of a club that are upset with us over how we handled the Evan Ferguson thing, who's by all means doing really well in Italy at the minute. But it just, I was a bit surprised that Brighton were keen.
I think Tony Bloom is far too clever to burn bridges. You know, he's not gonna just suddenly say, "Oh, I won't do business with West Ham anymore," because realistically,
see, that makes me concerned, Sloth. That they're willing to loan them to us. that makes me worried.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but this is the Sullivan way, isn't it? You know, if he can't if he can't figure out a way to get a deal done from someone who the whole recruitment team actually want, he'll take it upon himself to try and figure something out. And we both know how that goes.
Yeah. Max says, with no forward links, how would you feel about a late Raheem Sterling loan?
Look, it's not my. It wouldn't have been my preferred deal. I think at this point in the window, though, if Sullivan is trying to say, "Oh, look, I got a big name in," I think it's a pretty bad one, to be honest. He is a very, very talented footballer. Anyone who argues otherwise, I think, you know, they've got their own reasons for doing that. But I think there is a tremendous amount of ability there. I just think it's probably a bit of a. It's
got to go Fulham. Sterling and Fulham are a match made in heaven. It's like such a Marco Silva signing, and though it's like the home where you go where you're a little bit you've fallen off a little bit as a footballer, and you need a cuddle and you need somewhere to call home. Go to the Craven Cottage, and Marco Silva will give you that platform. Ruben saying John Victor to Nottingham Forest. What's your thoughts?
What, another John Textor owned club selling to Forest? What a surprise! I think it's a decent deal for Forest, to be honest. But I Sells was excellent against us. He made some great saves, so I don't really think it's anything more than just a rotation signing, and a fairly smart one at that.
Charlie's saying, Charlie, before you didn't get to answer his question, but question one, do you think Igor is stopping one of our young talents from potentially being an option? And two, doesn't he bring things we already have when we need grit?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I see a Premier League level centre back in our academy at the moment, and I don't mean that as in terms of in the future. There are some excellent young talents there. I just don't know if I see one who's ready to break into the first team now. And I think back to when Declan Rice was coming through and he was playing as a centre back, and you know, all the assets of a top player as he's gone on to become, but he still made mistakes. And I think we'd have that, but we'd have it in a season where the fans are already annoyed, the fans are already at, you know, boiling point, and unfortunately that's not going to be good for their development. I think you risk damaging their confidence in the longer term. And if it was between Disassi and a young academy player, I'd love to go with the young academy player. I really would, but I think it would probably be Disassi who I'd pick.
Yeah. I'm not sure we've got a young academy player close to the first team. Casey was the closest. He's out on loan at Swansea. Gollum Beckus perhaps, but he's just settling into the under-21s. I'd leave him be for the season in there. So I don't think we've got a young centre-back knocking on the door of the first team like we do in other areas of the pitch. PCT is saying, can we see Sloth's T-shirt up close? It looks awesome.
There you go.
Hang on a minute. There you go. Hang on. Wait. Let me get rid of. There you go. Now you can see it. There you go. There's his X-Men T-shirt.
Yeah.
Nick says Sunderland are in talks with Brian Bobby from Ajax. Would he be worth turning our attention to?
No. I think. I think he would offer a bit of pace up top, but I don't think we should be going in for Broby at this point. I think worst case scenario, there's probably, I mean, if Sterling were to come in on loan, I'd probably rather play Sterling up top and and have them alternate between. But yeah, I don't think
infinitely saying which centre midfielder will Magassa replace in the starting 11? He's hoping it's James Ward-Prowse allows Souček to get forward into the box.
Yeah, I think it will be James Ward-Prowse. I think I've seen a lot more from Souček in the sense of offering something, offering a work rate, but offering physicality and an aerial threat. And James Ward-Prowse, even his set pieces haven't been great. So, I mean, bar the two at the weekend, which Nicholas Fulcook should have done a lot better with, I think in open play, Magassa has to take his spot.
Robert saying, what do you think about, or what do you know about the Jacob Murphy links?
Only a little bit. I know that he's a Salthouse client, or at least there's a Silkman recommendation in there. But I like him. I like Jacob Murphy. I think he is exactly the sort of player that West Ham fans like, and he scores goals. He's hardworking, quick, but I don't think he'd be Lingard Mark II, but I wouldn't exactly say no at this point in the window.
He's one of those players that I am not the biggest fan of, but I can appreciate that everything goes against me, in my opinion. Like last season, was it 20 goals and assists for Newcastle? He got the most assists behind Salah in the Premier League, didn't he? And I think Isak really enjoyed having a right footer playing right wing, putting crosses in like that, rather than constantly cutting back on the left side. And I think that's why, or part of the reason why they went and got Alanga to replicate that right footed player on the right hand side. But when I watched Newcastle, even though his goals and his assists were impressive, I thought he was very often their weakest player in the starting 11. So I think he's a good squad player, but I think we've already got some of those options at the club. I think we've already got some players that are okay. And also his best positions where Bowen plays. And if Bowen doesn't play, I'd rather see Guilherme get an opportunity. You know, we speak about bringing players in that's going to hinder the development of our current players. I think Murphy would perhaps hinder the development of Guilherme. Although I will also concede that Potter's doing a good job at that himself by not playing him rather than saying, oh, it's because Murphy's here. I think he just isn't playing him. So Murphy, to me, I wouldn't have been offended by that transfer, but it's not really one that I thought, oh, yeah, brilliant, get him in. I think there would have been 101 players I'd have prior to Murphy. And lastly, Sloth, before you disappear, I've missed it. I've lost it. It was from Major. I know what it says. So Major said, how are we for the homegrown quota? We'll just have to figure it out together live on stream, will we? So we've got Fodringham in goal.
Yep.
So we've got one. Walker Peters, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman. That's it.
Prowse.
Ward-Prowse, Bowen, Wilson.
Have we got anyone else? Who are we forgetting?
Somerville.
Yeah.
So I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're all right. I think we're in a good stead. It's that we don't have to worry too much about it at the moment. Like, if it gets to the summer, if we manage to get into Europe, then we can buy a few players in the summer and add to that. So I think we're in a decent place for it. Potts, yeah.
Does he need registered? I know some are saying Scarles. I ignored Scarles and Earthy due to their age. Potts may be of the registered age now, isn't he? I think.
Is it 23? I think it's 23 or...
It's 21, isn't it?
Okay.
And I think Potts is 21 now, isn't he? So he would be one. But Scarles and Earthy, whilst will count, don't require registering. So that's why I left them out. Yeah, we're fine for the homegrown quota. We're okay. That's why I like the signing of, like, say, Kyle Walker-Peters. I like long-term homegrown players. Ones that you bring them in, and that's one of the ticks for the next 5-6 years. It's like, right, there we go. That's him there. We don't need to worry about him. You know, Creswell would have been the same if we brought him in. It's a homegrown centre-back tick. Don't need to worry about him. That's a homegrown player for the next however many years at the football club. So yeah, we're fine for homegrown. So nothing to worry about. Anyway, Sloth, anything you'd like to add before you disappear?
Just a bit disappointed we haven't even been linked with a forward in a significant way. I know we were looking at Boniface, or we were offered him, but I think that's look. I'm his biggest fan, but I think this is 2 or 3 seasons we should have signed him when he was at USG as opposed to, getting him off Leverkusen.
And he has a knee like a matchmaker.
Yeah, well, both knees. He's done crucial in both his knees. So it's a big risk, and also there's definitely some attitude problems there. And I think if you look at the fact how he handled the Saudi side of things, there's also rumours about how he has been with younger players around different sides that he's been to, and his attitude towards them. I personally would avoid, but it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. Just for Daniel saying that Somerville's Dutch, he is, but he's classed as homegrown because he was at Leeds just enough. I remember when the club announced the bit, I can't remember what it was. We signed Somerville, and the update was something like West Ham have decided Somerville's homegrown. It was like, you don't decide that. He is or he isn't, or something like that. I think we'd sort of discovered, like, basically, this is West Ham for you. I think we signed Somerville and we didn't realise he counted towards the homegrown quota because of his age at Leeds at the time. He hadn't quite met the criteria for homegrown, so Leeds hadn't counted him as homegrown because of his age. But because he'd been there long enough, and because of the age he was at Leeds, he would then qualify for homegrown. And we basically announced it like after the signing was done. And I think it was almost like just watching West Ham discover we'd signed a player that qualified as homegrown without realising we'd signed a player that qualified as homegrown. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I remember the wording was something like West Ham have decided Somerville's homegrown. You don't decide that.
I think it's kind of similar to the Gil Herme situation, in the fact where if we keep him for a couple more years, he will qualify as homegrown.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand any of the links away at the moment. It's like, you could technically just either loan him out to get football or keep him around the squad as rotation, like you mentioned, and play him, and then he technically qualifies as homegrown a year or two down the line. It's not like we're paying the kid massive money. It's not like he doesn't offer something off the bench. Everyone who saw him in cameo appearances last season, apart from Graham Potter, seems to have been impressed.
Yeah. Right, Sloth, thank you so much. Pleasure as always. I'll see you in January when we get linked to someone I've never heard of again. And look forward to catching up with you then.
Thank you for having me on.
Sloth. Thank you.
See ya.
Sloth, Babbling Irons. He's not there anymore. He was there. Sloth, Babbling Irons. Go find them on YouTube. Right then, live chat. What are you saying? I'll get the updates in just a second. Thank you, David. Said Gio, proud NITK. Thank you for this chat about our lack of transfers. Always a pleasure. Thank you to Brad as well. Thanks for the community. Have a takeaway on me. Thank you. That'd be my second one. I've gone months without a takeaway because we were saving up with the house stuff going on. We were saving. So naturally, like everyone else, you just look at your outgoings, don't you think, right, what can we cut? So that fortnightly takeaway we had was on the chopping block. So we've gone about 3 months without a takeaway. Had a Chinese on Sunday night, thanks to you, lovely lot. So I might have another one, thanks to Brad. Brad, thank you. I'll treat myself at the end of the week. And also it's bribery for Mrs. Gio because Grace is meant to be in her bed in half an hour and the cot's in here and she can't come to bed till the show's finished. So I've disrupted the little one's sleeping pattern again. Anyway, work. Andrew saying, didn't anyone like a Gerd, or do you even think he knows he's from Algeria, Morocco? Mark's ordered a beer mat and t-shirt. Thank you, Mark. Very kind of you. WHU said, I'm a patron. Did the score prediction for Forest. Had 3-1 Bowen. So close. Love all your videos. Batcham. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lucky with that 3-1. There's Doug's got a baby due in 2 weeks. He's on saving duty too. Well, best of luck to you, Doug. Best of luck to you. My little one has just started nursery full time this week. Today was her first day, and that's it. She's in there 5 days a week now. The house is quiet. Hammer 99 saying we're going after Hugo or something. I remember that day. That was fun and scary at the same time. Right, the next guest will be along in 5-10 minutes. Let's just get an update and see what everyone's saying. See if any of the big journalists are claiming anything's happening in regards to West Ham. The latest we had was that Igor was on his way for a medical, that we could sign Disasi, that George Earthy was weighing up his options. Another journalist, looks like a Chelsea-based journalist, is saying Disasi wants to join West Ham. Discussions ongoing for a season-long loan. Chelsea trying to add an obligation. I'm not keen on that one. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to be committing. Getting them on loan's one thing, but having to then buy them is another thing. Ironix saying, can I move to ugly Mike? I can do. Can everyone still hear it okay? There you go. Can everyone still hear it fine? I've moved it for Ironix, but if everyone's now saying, hang on a minute, can't hear you very well, it's Ironix's fault. But let me know what you think. I don't mind. I'm willing to do what the chat says. Rodney saying, big up to West Ham for hammering Forest. Spen saying, do we think Sullivan saw Wilson score and decide no strikers? That's the fear of winning yesterday. Obviously, it was good that we won. It was brilliant that we won. Ironix is happy. Everyone else said we can hear us. Now Kevin's saying to put it back. Sliders, who would you rather get, Igor or Disasi? Whichever one doesn't have an obligation to buy. I do not want to commit to buying either of these players. I don't like either of them. I don't want to buy either of them. Getting them in on loan's one thing for cover. But the thing is, right, the one thing with this loan move for a centre-back, I keep saying for cover, right? But I don't think we are bringing someone in for cover. I think we should be bringing someone in to start at centre-back. Now, Kilman and Mavpanos played well yesterday, right? They both had a good game individually and as a pair. But so far, Kilman, I don't think, has had a great start to the season. Tadebo's not been great. Agurd's gone now. That's good. I think there's a shirt there. I think there's an opportunity for us to go get a centre-back good enough to start most games for West Ham at centre-back. So when we're going for these players on loan, I'm a bit disappointed that we're not aiming a little bit higher. We're not trying to get someone in to improve our starting 11 and to compete with Kilman rather than to provide cover. But if it was Igor, it feels a bit like it's just cover for Kilman and we're just getting in squad depth, we're just getting in numbers. I would much prefer to try and get someone in that's actually good enough to knock Kilman out the team, because I think that's what the standard we should be looking for. But never mind. I think that's my disappointment with this Igor thing, is that there's an opportunity to get someone else in. And I'm worried that we're going to find ourselves in the same situation in a month or 2 months' time, which is Kilman's not in form, Mavpanos ain't in form, Tadebo's not in form, and the new centre-back ain't good enough. And we've then got 4 senior centre-backs, and neither of them are really tickling our fancy. So I think there's quite a few available. Brad's the same. I really think we could pluck someone decent at centre-back. We've got our blinkers on. I think so as well. I think Creswell could have been that player. But I feel like the ones we're going after are... We're just bringing in a centre-back for the sake of bringing in a centre-back. It feels like a numbers game. And that's why I'm a bit frustrated. I feel like we need a commanding centre-back, someone that can be strong in the air, a bit old school. And Igor certainly that. And I don't think Disasi is either. I think we're bringing in more centre-backs who are perhaps not suited to playing week in, week out. So that's my frustration, really. And I was hoping we'd get someone else in as well. But anyway... Nevertheless, got a new guest. Are you ready for the new guest in just a second? Just want to remind everyone, go to our online store. People are saying the Joe Cole shirt ain't there. I will put it up, but it looks like there's more than one person that won it. I'll put it up. I thought it was up. I apologize. If you just give me 1 second, and then I'll get the new guest in. And it's going to be a race if he's want it. I'm afraid there's only one. Why isn't it there? It should be there. Oh, I'm going to have to do it. Right. While I do that, before I do that, it'll be up in about 20 minutes. Right. Before we do that. Frankie, how's it going?
Very good. How are you?
Bit frustrated, to be honest, mate. I thought coming into the transfer deadline day, right? I wanted 2 signings, a good centre back and someone else, right? I don't think it's a big ask. I don't think it's unreasonable or unrealistic. Like, my unrealistic hope was, obviously for the window, was we'd get Harvey Elliott. I'm willing to accept we couldn't get that done. Now he's gone to Villa on loan with an option or an obligation of 35 million. I think it's a good deal for Villa, but I'm willing to concede that perhaps we couldn't get that deal done because Elliott's had higher standards than West Ham. He was wanting a side playing European football. I can accept that, right? So I'm willing to accept when things are perhaps on the ambitious side of things, but I don't feel like wanting a good centre back and someone else to provide cover for another position. I don't think it was on the unrealistic side of it. So I feel a bit disappointed, to be honest with you, but I've still got a bit of a buzz from beating Nottingham Forest, so I'm still quite cheery. But I think that we need to have a conversation around the fact that before Forest, we were terrible and we were not in a good way. And I feel like we're almost treating today as if Nottingham Forest is something we've seen all season so far. It's like, we'll be all right, you know, but we won't be. We were terrible before that game yesterday, and I don't feel like we are addressing that today. And that's why I'm disappointed. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Half of me thinks it's let the ball off a little bit. They had to go and make a big statement, really, because we were looking in dire straits. They've got a good result, and now that kind of takes the pressure off them a little bit and gives them a bit of a squeeze. So, you know, that I get that, but we just were so desperate for it. And you know, we went after Cray and went to see my dad to watch it. And there was loads of us who got together, all West Ham fans, and it was just such a good feeling to get that first win and what a result. So, I mean, look, I haven't wanted to be negative or I haven't wanted to say anything to what happened on that day, but I definitely feel like we need to be a little bit careful. And okay, he finally had the balls to drop that system that just would never, ever have worked. He found a new system which paid off. I was a big fan of Forest last year, but there might be more going on at that club than kind of meets the eye at the moment. We know there's some niggles. We know Nuno has been touted with you know, being relieved from his position, and there might be a bit of a deeper issue, underlining issue that's going on there at the moment. But the reason I didn't feel that way is because their results hadn't suggested it. They had a good win against Brentford, then, you know, a bit of a iffy result. But I thought they might have bounced back against us and been the Forester last year. But I don't think they are the Forester last year, Gio. We've come away from there with a good win, exactly what we needed. But I'm not sure all of our worries have gone away just in a blink of an eye there, you know. So yeah, I was hoping we was going to make a little bit of a statement signing. However, after that result, I don't think they'll do it.
Yeah, West Ham United have just announced that Finlay Herrick, the goalkeeper, has joined Boreham Wood on loan for this season. So it's another youngster out on loan. A good loan move as well, actually.
Boreham Wood, good club, mate. Really good setup down there at the moment. Everyone's very impressed with what they do down there. So that's a good, happy place for him to go and play football, I think.
Good, a good goalkeeper as well, Herrick. I think a lot of people have got high hopes for him at West Ham. So that's him going out on loan to get first team experience, hopefully. Will he start, do you think, at Boreham Wood? He must do. He's an England youth international.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Joe, we've just been through it. The coach of our boys, George Evans, who is a signed professional for Bromley. He is only 18, but he's a fantastic striker. He's just been on loan at Welling. Now, if people don't understand what's been happening at Welling have been on a free fall for a little while, plummeting down the leagues, having some real issues there. Their youth team basically the old owner of Welling United. He basically owns the rights to the Welling United brand. The youth team are no longer allowed to use Welling United as a brand. They've had to rename to Greenwich Borough something or other. And it's just in dire straits. Welling United as a club is dying. But George has gone there on loan to try and stop their free fall from the leagues. Welling United have ended up in the same league as Cray at the moment, the Isthmian Premier League. But it's just a real unhappy place where the setup is, there's no investment. The pitch is terrible. The facilities are looking really poor. George has gone there. He was there for 4 weeks. We'll probably have ended up having to recall him, but he's lost that spark that he had. He's, he needs to come. By the way, George Evans is also a big West Ham fan, and so is all his family. So he's one of our own. But yeah, it's just, it shows you how a loan move can have a real negative effect.
Yeah.
We all want our players to go out on loan to get to get minutes and get experience, but you do have to be careful. But the good thing is Boreham Wood is a very good club. They've had a lot of investment go in. Their stadium's fantastic, and they're just one of the clubs that everyone's sort of recognising at the moment as being an ambitious, good place to be. So on that basis, I think it's probably quite a good move for him.
I mean, now you're saying net spend of 50 million isn't good enough for a club of the standard we want to be, and this is including the Tadibo 35 million fee that we've had to pay out this summer as well. Jade said, really disappointing not going for Cresswell now. Igor seems uninspired and cheap. Cresswell looked fantastic. Zanussi he's replying to someone. Kevin saying, I'd like to think he'd start for Boreham Wood, but got a feeling Ashmore will start until a blunder due to his National League experience. But if he can't get a few games, it would benefit him massively. Oh, look at you lot flexing your non-league football knowledge, eh? Espen saying, I feel like the Forest game was a one-off where everything just came together for us. I'm still worried about the abysmal showing we've had so far, excluding the Nottingham Forest match. People now complain about my audio. I moved my microphone. Ionix was complaining that you could see it, so I moved it, and now someone's complaining about it. Let me move it back then. Hopefully that'll... You can't see it. There you go. I moved it back. You will if I get rid of Frankie. You're just going to have to put up with it, Ionix. Right then. YouTube saying, in terms of a centre-back, do you think the board and Potter will see Magassa as a centre-back, then a defensive midfielder? Hence why a centre-back as cover, regardless, is not good enough. I know that Frankie says no. I say no as well. And the thing is, while I think Disassi's coming in and cover, I think I say that in terms of ability, but not in terms of finances. This will not be a cheap loan move if we get Disassi, and there will be a few million we've got to pay to Chelsea, and his wages are big because he's a first-team squad player at Chelsea, so he will be on a lot of money. So even if we only pay 50% of his wages, it's still going to be compatible with the other first-team players at West Ham as well. So I think, whilst I don't know if he will be first choice, I think financially he will be reflecting that of a first choice player. So that's why I'm frustrated with it. It just feels a bit like we're trying to save a few quid, but it turns out to be expensive in the long run, really. But you never know. Maybe they'll be brilliant. We'll wait and see. So Sky are saying that Cresswell is dead in the water. Do you have an opinion on Disassi or Igor, Frankie?
I mean, they're not inspiring signings, are they? They're just a bit. But I feel, and I know a lot of people say we haven't got the best squad. I don't think the squad's in a terrible place, really. What was that saying? Who was the manager who had it recently? And we only wanted to sign players that improved the first team. I feel like we're kind of in that place. I think whoever comes in now really has got to be people that improve what we've already got. Do those two do that? Not sure.
Yeah, right. For those wanting a Joe Cole shirt, get your fingers ready to refresh the page. It is there. If you refresh the page, it's there. By the looks of it, there's a few people wanting it, but there's only one of them. So it's fastest finger first. Best of luck to you all that want it. And I think I'll get a notification on my phone in just a minute to tell me that it's gone. Now, before we get another guest in, just want to check a couple of things. This is the last night to buy anything from our online store. We've still got 4 Christmas jumpers. I need them bloody gone. So if anyone's a double XL jumper, Christmas jumpers, got 4 left to sell. I need them gone tonight. I've been getting it in the neck from Mrs. Geo because they've been in the lobby for a couple of years. I need them out of this bloody house. So if any of you are a double XL and you fancy a Christmas jumper, go on there. We're selling it less than it cost us. We're making a loss on this. There's other t-shirts on there as well to do with Prague, to do with Martin Noble. Go have a look. There's something for everyone. We've knocked it down as cheap as we can. We are selling items at less than cost price because we need them gone. The online store is coming offline tonight. So if you fancy picking up a pair of oddball boxes or anything like that, then go have a look. Go to hammerschatstore.com, have a look around and see if there's anything you fancy. Your last chance to grab stuff. Frankie, would you like to have a little look at the live chat and interact with the live chat whilst I get our next guest lined up, please?
Yeah, of course. I'll go with a personal question here, which was from Paul. Hi, Frankie. How well did Cray do yesterday? My boys played a year up, so we played a year older. It was our first ever 7-a-side game, and we won 5-0. So that was brilliant. Saturday was disappointing. We drew 2-2 in the FA Cup against Hamwell, and really not a good result for us at all. So lost the home advantage. Got to replay them tomorrow night at their ground. So yeah. We've got a big job to do in the FA Cup tomorrow. I've just seen this and just been having a look at this French youngster, Dimitri Colau, I guess is how you say his name. So 19-year-old arrives from Hammers with a 4-year contract, an option to extend for a further year. Colau links up with his former Paris FC academy teammate Mohamedou Conte in the Irons. So he's got a familiar face that he's coming in to see, and seems like we're trying to bring in some ones for the future. Obviously, they're not going to be anywhere near the first team, but it seems like we've got 2 very, very good young players there who quite clever business, that I think, bringing in players to make them feel a bit more comfortable in a new place, to, you know, just it creates a little group, a little bit of a comfort blanket for them. So, I mean, I've watched the journey of Luizao and seen him from the very beginning. I can't count how many youth games I've watched him play. And it was just a bit of a car crash, the whole thing. The fact he was literally playing even, you know, not so long ago, I watched one of the under-21s game and there he was again. Just a bit of a mess. So, yeah, we need to try and just get people who, I don't know, come and actually develop and turn into something, even if they're not turning into first-team players. At least if we're giving them a little bit of a status. It almost was like Luizao, who came with a bit of a reputation, ended up almost in tatters, to be honest, and we would never get anything back for him. But these youngsters, like we've bought here, you've got to turn them into at least some profit-making assets, even if they don't become first-team players.
Yeah, I think like Patrick Kelly is a good example. He's someone that came in, we played him in the 21s, looked good, put him out on loan for a couple of seasons at Doncaster, did all right at that level out on loan, but we decided that's his level. He's doing well there, and he's probably not going to succeed at West Ham. So let's A, get what we can for him, but also B, let this kid go have a career in football. Don't hinder his progress, because sometimes I think you can hold on to players for too long. So by the time they become 23, 24, it's like their chance of like establishing themselves at League One or League Two level is almost gone a little bit. And I think it's harder for them to get back to that level. I think you've almost got to just be ruthless, but also it benefits them as well. And I think, you know, Kelly was someone that I think will, like Josh Cullen's a really good example. Connor Coventry is making a name for himself as well. These players that have gone, right, they're not good enough, let's let them go. But you give them a chance to go to a good level of football, make a name for themselves in the game. And if they're good enough, they'll get back up. Like Junior Stanislas did it. He got back up to Premier League level. Josh Cullen's now a Premier League captain, right? But it requires West Ham just to be that little bit of, right, we're going to call it quits. We don't think you're going to make it here, but go on and have a good career elsewhere and get the funding in and keep the academy so that the academy is sustainable and it's self-funded. So, yeah, I agree with yourself. I think it's important that we got the conveyor belt going so that we can try and get people in. Dan saying, what's the deal with Matt O'Reilly being loaned out? he rates him. Yeah, I'm surprised that the deal that's required to get Matt O'Reilly, I seen it was like £2 million loan fee or something like that. If we were loaning a player from Brighton, I'd be all over that. I'm still a big O'Reilly fan. I think he had a really good pre-season, apparently. Unsure why he's not really been given a chance by Hurstler. Had a big injury, of course, when he was there, but one that's like an impact injury. It's not like a muscle thing. Just been a bit of a bad move for him, but just almost by bad luck to some extent. But I would have loved him at West Ham. DA saying, which of our academy youngsters do you think will be permanent fixtures in the first team squad?
Yeah, tricky. I'm still waiting for my man George Murphy, and I've always tipped him to, and he was on the borderline and then had his accident, and we haven't really seen much of him since then. So he's got to stay injury free, but I'm still praying that he'll be the man. But no one, I've got to be honest, Gio, out of all the boys that are there at the moment, there's none that are really standing out to me, and I'm going, do you know what? They're like,
yeah,
they're ready, that they could literally make that step up now. They're all in that stage where, you're still waiting to see something. You're still waiting to see, look, that boy is going to go on and be a Premier League player.
Let's four names for you. Just keep or loan. Simple, right? Do you want to keep them or would you loan them out today? Ollie Scars.
Keep.
Freddie Potts.
Keep.
George Earthy.
Loan.
Callum Marshall.
Loan.
Aswike saying Potts might be going to Watford. Where's that, Aswike? So we can just have a quick look at it and read out exactly what's been said. But Earthy was linked with a loan move today as well. He's apparently deciding his future, and I can understand why. I won't repeat myself too much, but he'll be looking at what's happened with Scars last season, Potts pre-season, thinking, hang on a minute, they've got a chance and they're not getting a chance now. What are you smiling at? What have you seen?
Just the way you said Arswike. I mean, I would have gone with Aswike, but you went with Arswike.
I always call him Aswike. He's never replied and said I've got it wrong. Maybe Aswike is. What do you prefer, Aswike? Do you want Aswike or do you want Aswike? How would you like your name to be pronounced? Because he comments quite often. He's a good subscriber. So I feel some of them are difficult to know how to pronounce them.
No, I get that. I would have gone with the more flair, Gio. That would have you went with the typical Scottish.
Yours are a lot more polite.
Yes.
Yours are a lot more polite. Mine's bordering on offensive. But we'll wait and see. Right, we'll have a guest in just a second. Before Drew got an update here. It's David Mason. I can't tell you if this is a good journalist or not, but David Mason is saying that Freddie Potts is at Vicarage Road ahead of completing a loan move. Huge statement from the Hornets. We'll have to wait and see if we can get someone a bit more reliable when it comes to West Ham news reporting that one. But I think that would be a result of Rodriguez and Irving staying, and then us deciding actually this kid's not going to get much minutes because he's barely had any minutes so far. So maybe we've failed to get rid of Rodriguez or Irving, and as a result, Potts is the one that's going to go. Right, Frankie, I'm going to take... Well, actually, you can stay, Frankie, because you might have questions for our next guest, and people in the live chat, you may have questions for our guest. We're going to something a little bit different. It's not a West Ham guest. It's a Brighton fan. I've got a Brighton fan coming on who we're also going to ask him about Igor, because we thought this may be the player that we're getting. It looks more and more likely. Let me put Matthew in the middle. There we go. Matthew, thank you very much for joining us. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, you must be buzzing after beating City at the weekend.
Yeah, it was a brilliant result, especially first half was shocking, but second half sort of subs changed the game. So yeah, very good result.
What happened to your arm?
Got both in slings. I've fractured my right wrist and my left thumb, so both are in cast at the moment.
What happened, dare I ask?
I sort of was racing my friend and I fell, stacked it and landed on my arms.
Hang on a minute, I'm just looking at the picture of the UK. Where's the blue bit?
I know, it's one of these from the football maps page. So yeah, I I'll get in contact with them. I want it blue and white.
Where's
Yeah,
the blue
don't
bit?
pretend like there's any football teams up further than that.
It's all about the south.
And Matthew, just quickly before we get on to Igor, then the live chat was just asking about Matt O'Reilly, and obviously I don't really know. I know he's going to Marseille or gone to Marseille. What's happened there? Why has he not made it at Brighton?
So yeah, we brought him in and then made his debut against Crawley off the bench in the cup last year. And the Crawley player just went through him for no reason, injured him. Croxton was out for a while, and then he's been in and he did all right last season, played well pre-season. And the 2 games he started this season was shocking. And he's more of an 8 sort of and doesn't fit in. So he's been playing in the 10, which doesn't suit him. He's just sort of not suited to this system, and he's not good enough for us to change the system around him. So it's a shame, but yeah, it just hasn't worked out for him.
I'm a fan, but anyway, I'll tell you who. Well, actually, I almost gave it away there. I will remain neutral on Igor for the next few minutes. He's on the verge of joining West Ham. You're on the show because we want to get your insight into Igor. You've seen a bit of him. He's been at Brighton for 1.5, 2 years now. 40, 50 appearances he's made for your club. What can you tell our subscribers about Igor?
Well, after I was on the show last time, Slate and Potter, I'm going to look like a really bitter Brighton fan with these opinions. But
I would argue you've been proven correct about Potter since the last show. But put that to one side. Igor, what you got?
Yeah, don't rate him at all. I think he's absolutely pony. He was brought in by De Zerbi, so it wasn't one of our data signings or whatever you like to call it. He was one of 3 De Zerbi signings, with the other one being Ansu Fati on loan, who was shocking, and Mo Dahoud, who was shocking, and we let go. So yeah, Igor, I didn't watch much of him at Fiorentina, obviously, other than the Conference League final where he was poor. My mates who watched Italian football, when he signed, he was like, what Brighton doing? He's not very good. And here, he is, what I will give him, he's very strong, very bulky, and he's good on the ball, but sometimes he knows he's good on the ball and does too much. Like, we went to Leicester away, 2-0 up, and then in the last minute, and then we conceded. Then in the last minute, when all he had to do was pump it long, decides to dribble out of his own box, get tackled, and we concede. So he's a player that he's very short, not very good in the air. I think I read a tweet where he's got the lowest aerial duel percentage of any West Ham defender in the last decade or something like that. I don't know the exact wording, and yeah, he loses concentration a lot. The amount of times he's just like 5 yards deeper than he should be, or on the halfway line just chasing the ball. He's just, I just don't think he's very good. He loses concentration a lot and not good enough in the air to justify it either.
I know another Brighton fan. I messaged him about it, and he said, I'll be pleased I don't have to watch him do a 3-point turn anymore. What would that be in reference to? Is he just slow, or what's the problem there?
Yeah, he moves like a truck. He's slow. He's just... I do like him, like, as a person. He gets it about Bright. Like, he loved being here. He'd always speak positively about the club. He seems a really good character in the dressing room. So he goes with no bad feelings for me. But just he's painful to watch sometimes.
Okay, Frankie, have you got any questions about Igor?
No, it just doesn't sound very inspiring at all, does it? To be honest, if there's one thing we don't need, it's immobile, very slow, rigid centre half who can't get around the pitch. That would be a disaster, to be perfectly honest.
Everyone in the live chat, if you've got any questions for Matthew regarding Igor, whack him into live chat. We'll take a couple of questions from you. And while they're doing that, Matthew, what do you make of West Ham so far this season? And do you see us as one of your 3 to go down?
No, you won't go down. I haven't seen you play this season because obviously you were on the same time as us against Forest. The Chelsea game, to be fair, I watched the second half of the Chelsea game and that was painful. And then obviously Mr. Sunderland won. I think before the season started, I saw a few people saying West Ham would be all right, but I've got a few mates that are West Ham fans and I wasn't sure. It's sort of, the midfield was a big issue for me. Just no pace in the midfield at all. Obviously, you've got, with Bowen and Paqueta on form, you've got a chance of beating most teams, but that's not enough to mount a serious top half challenge. I really like Diouf. I liked him before you signed him, and other than that, I just don't think the squad's good enough for where you want to be in a club the size of West Ham should be. But yeah, you've got too much quality in Bowen and Paqueta and Diouf to go down, but 15th, 16th ish, I reckon.
Igor was close to joining Crystal Palace at one point. What's your understanding as to why that didn't go through? Because we've seen some conflicting reports as to why that hasn't happened. What's your belief?
I don't know. It's a bit of an odd one because part of me would say the hope in me would think he's turning down because he doesn't want to join a rival. But I don't know if I presume he'd come in to be your starting centre back, whereas Palace he wouldn't be. So I think he wants first team football.
Well, bloody hope not, by the sounds of it.
I know, but I don't know. He sort of suits Potter in terms of the passing style, but yeah, I don't know. He might have just been given more guaranteed or first team football at West Ham. That's the only explanation, really.
I know you've already answered this question, but Charlie asked it. Is he good in the air?
No, I didn't know how bad he was. I think it's like Jordan Saywood Jones. I think his name was on Twitter, a prominent West Ham fan I know through. I've followed because of betting, and he tweeted something about his aerial duel percentage being shocking. It's not something I've ever looked into, but yeah, I don't think he's the tallest either. So yeah, he's not very good in the air.
Chris is asking you, was Potter's time at Brighton genuinely successful?
Yeah, it was. We spoke about it last time I was on it. It was a sort of a slow start for him because going from a Chris Hughton team is very defensive, low block to sort of a possession expansive team was always going to take time, and it was frustrating at first. But he did build like the way we ended his last ever season was brilliantly. Like we had a really good midfield, outplayed Arsenal at the Emirates, outplayed Tottenham, beat United. I think we were playing really, really good football, and then we started the season really well. So the building blocks were there, and whether he would have got us sixth if he stayed and De Zerbi didn't, who knows? But yeah, I'd say he sort of built the building blocks sort of for what we are now.
Yeah, and lastly, I know your answer to this, but it's going to amuse me depending how you answer it. PCT says, do you believe Kyle McCauley will leave any kind of lasting hole at Brighton? Had you even heard of him when I asked you about him? He was just like a guy, weren't he, at Brighton?
Yeah, so I didn't really have an opinion of him, but I just think, like I said, the way West Ham are sort of run, it sort of makes it hard for any sort of recruitment player to be successful because what I believe, like Sullivan's quite involved, isn't he? And I don't know. I don't know if that really makes for good recruitments. Whereas ours is all database and everything like that. So I don't know how much impact McCauley did have.
Yeah, I think McCauley's that guy. He's been brought in and he's the data guy. And I think he's been suggesting players, and we've signed a couple of them, like Juve, for example. But then I think on others, we've just ignored him and went, man, we'll just get our own guy in anyway. But we've got your former goalkeeping coach now, Casper Ankergren. And why are you smirking? Was he crap or something?
No, like as a player, no, because he was growing up watching Brighton. It's when we were League One. Yeah. One of them that just wasn't good, but we just loved him. Like he's a cult hero. He's a brilliant person. You'll love it.
Cult hero because he's so crap. We've had a few of them as well. Sounds like Igor could be one of them too, actually.
Cult hero, yeah. He's one of them.
Lastly, from Haha said about Cisco. I never know how you pronounce this guy's name, Buonotti and Cisco. What happened to those two? Are they both signed for Blueco?
Yeah, with Enciso, the talent's there, but I think he's got the ego where he thinks he's better than he is. He'll shoot from anywhere. You can tell the talent's there, but injuries have sort of ruined him. I think his agent sort of got in his ear. Buonanotte as well. I love him. I think he's brilliant. He's hardworking. He's everything you want in a young player. And he's only got a year left until he counts as homegrown. So he has to be loaned to an English club to do that. It just makes no sense why it's Chelsea, especially with minutes. But there's got to be something going on. I really like Buonanotte, really a player. Someone that, again, I thought someone like West Ham or Leeds or Wolves were going for. But yeah, I'm surprised he's gone to Chelsea.
Yeah, right. Last question. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. If you were a West Ham fan and you had to rate the signing of Igor, 1 dog shit, don't do it, and 10 perfect. I know it's going to be a low number. I just want to know how bad you think he is, though, right? I want your honest opinion. No sitting on the fence, no being polite because you're on a West Ham channel. I want your honest opinion here, Matthew. How shit is he?
Well, everyone sees the game differently. He's a sort of player, once I've seen him, I don't rate him. So I could be blinded, sort of. I could argue I have an agenda against him. But for me, I think it's a 3 out of 10 signing. It doesn't really add anything you need. But because of his personality and who he is, I think it could give a lift to the dressing room and help people like Paqueta, like fellow Brazilians. So yeah, I think 3 or 4.
Brilliant. So we're signed in for his personality. Wonderful. Just how I like to do transfer business. Matthew, thank you so much. I appreciate you giving up your time, popping on again. And I'll catch up with you when we play Brighton. I don't know when we play you, but we'll play you very soon at some point anyway. But I'll catch up with you then. Thank you very much, Matthew.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Frankie, are you inspired?
Certainly not by that. Certainly not by that. That was, well, just everything you don't want to hear, isn't it? You know, if you just, any sort of review you would expect from an opposition fan about you bringing one of their players in, everything he said is exactly what you dread. It's a disaster. So I just hope we avoid it, because adding someone like that into our defence, especially if we're going to a 4 at the back now, that wouldn't be good at all.
Yeah. Anyway, Frankie, before I let you love us and leave us, anything you'd like to add? Talk about transfer window or deadline days, or anything you'd like to add before you depart?
Just interesting. I've heard what people are saying about George Urphy in the chat, and that he's going to stay and he's going to fight for his place at West Ham. I think it's the right decision, because I think he's getting to that age now, Joe, where it's make or break. You either force your way in, or unfortunately the writing's on the wall for you, where we're getting to that time. So I like the fact he stayed, but I think we just need to pray he stays injury free now, and just really hope that he can show his value and get in front of Potter and maybe get his chance somewhere along the line. But with what we've seen about Potts as well, that's a real shame for me. A great signing for Watford. He'll make a massive difference to them. In fact, Gio, I would be very tempted now to go and have a little flutter on Watford certainly having a chance through the playoffs now. So I think he'll make a massive difference. I think it's great news for them. Just not very good news for us, because I really thought this was his time. And well, unfortunately, it's not.
I'm trying to get some clarification on that Potts rumour, because I think the source isn't someone I recognise. So I think let's see if we can get that one out first. But anyway, Frankie, thank you. A pleasure as always. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch up with you later on in the week. The last guest is ready to rock and roll. Before I get him on, just want to point in the direction of our online store. What we at, where we at, what we've done, what we've still got to sell. Let me have a quick look. Oh, fuck, I forgot. We've got a special offer on. Right, I'm going to have to tell you about the special offer. We've still got one signed Julian Dix armband if anyone wants it. You don't have to have it. We're happy to keep that. The Pellegrini jacket is still there. I'm knocking it down in price. The signed Pellegrini jacket is just down to 50 quid if anyone wants it. And we've got a special offer for tonight only, which I was meant to promote for the whole show, and I've completely forgot. Welcome to Hammers Chat. Right, this print. It's a painting of Lucas Paqueta on the phone. This will be a print by Canning Town Lane. You can order it from the Hammers Chat store tonight, and only tonight. I was meant to promote it for 2 hours and hopefully sell a few, but I've only got half an hour left now. But if you want a print of that, go to hammerschatstore.com, go into the clearance, and at the bottom, you will see the Paqueta print. It'll tell you you're pre-ordering it. It'll take a couple of weeks for me to get it out to you, but it's 20 quid. So if you want that print, you're supporting 2 content creators. You'll be supporting Hammers Chat, and you'll be supporting Canning Town Lane as well. There you go, Paqueta print. Love it. So if you fancy one, get it sorted. Gonzo, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you very much. I was here. What's the rumour? The Watford rumour?
That Potts is going on loan to Watford. However, the source was someone that I don't recognise, so I'm not taking it as gospel yet. But it was a rumour.
Okay, well that is interesting. Yeah, I certainly hadn't heard that one. That must have happened in the last half hour or something. Then I haven't heard that at all. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Very interesting. But I think the Stevenage deal for Lewis Orford is excellent. I think a good club. I think really good for him. Makes a lot of sense. Too many bodies in midfield really, and I think anybody that can sort of get away from the shackles of that congestion and go and get some proper game time is the right thing to do, and I think he would really benefit. I think we will get back a really good player there actually.
Yeah, and George Earthy's turned down the opportunity to go out on loan. That's good. I like that. I like that attitude. Oh yeah, what did you make of this? Robinson, your mate Robinson's off on loan to Livingston.
Good player. Yeah, I like him. Look, I've seen him play live a couple of times. He caught my eye, and particularly at the time we started playing wing back as well. So. Yeah, I wish him well. Skillful player, lots of energy. You know, looks like a wing back. To be fair, plays like a wing back. So yeah, good. Cornet to Genoa on loan. That's yeah, not surprising. They were haggling at the start of the day. Actually, only wanted to pay like 15% of his wages or something like that. And
yeah,
thinking,
I mean, we've got no option though, have we? What, we're going to say no, we're going to keep him. He's not even on the bench.
well, we were. But I think we obviously needed a little bit more than that. But even if someone comes up with half, you just got to let him go, really, for that. And just I say that any wages off the books are a good thing. We've got rid of so many wages. We must be in credit now. We've honestly got rid of a lot of wages. There's no doubt about that. So I think maybe I don't know, reading between the lines, if he's on whatever 50 grand a week, and Genoa was saying, oh well, we'll pay 6 of it or something like that. Possibly West Ham are thinking, well, we saved over £1 million a week in wages. What's the bloody point, you know? Won't even cover his flight. So, yeah. Yes, but good for him. I like him because he's not kicked up a stink, you know. He doesn't play, doesn't get selected. You don't really hear anything bad from him. He doesn't, you know, I was going to say doesn't go away on international duty, probably because don't get picked anymore. But, you know, like some players go and get picked on international duty and they start gobbing off. And, you know, look at what's happened with the Gerd over the last, 24 hours, 48 hours. You know, fair play to Cornet. Yeah. Good luck to him.
The print isn't on canvas, it's just an A4. It's on good quality photo paper. Freddie said he can't find it. You go to the store, the second one along, I think it's Everything Must Go. If you click on that, it's in there. People have been ordering it, so people can't find it.
Have you sold the Bowen shirts?
No, I've sold the Bowen shirt I wanted to sell tonight, but there's more. Why?
Oh, well, because one of our Mr. ETC Sports, he messaged me earlier and he said, Gons, I can't get hold of that Bowen shirt. I can't see it on the website. I said, hold on a second. We'll sort him out. There you go. So if you're watching this, mate,
ETC Sports, we'll sort you out. Don't you worry about that one. We'll sort you out. Ryan, the jacket, I don't know what size it is. It's in the pile over there now. I've popped in the pile. But we've only got 2 more Christmas jumpers left to sell. Thank God. One's in double XL. And the other one's an extra small. They're nearly gone.
Those are the two. The smallest one or the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy to get rid of them. Lauren will be really happy to get rid of them.
Does she not like Christmas?
She doesn't like the Christmas jumpers in the lobby, no. So she's pleased that we're getting rid of some of the stock because she's been growling about it for a few days.
Very grinchy attitude towards Christmas, I think.
Yeah, but I get it. To be fair, I've tripped over them a couple of times and cursed them and kicked them into fucking Christmas jumpers. But oh, hello. It's nothing West Ham related, but right. It's good. It's Geo related. Have you got your phone?
I have.
I'll send it to you.
Silent.
Oh, this is There you go. It'll make you smile, I think. Have a look at that. Have you read it? Are you reading?
Yeah, because I haven't got my glasses on. I had to scroll. Magnificent news, mate. Magnificent.
Come through. Oh, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy now.
Yeah, well done. Well done, mate.
I'll tell people. Time, I don't mind.
That's timely, isn't it?
I don't mind telling people. It's live on there. You're getting. I feel like I'm beaming here. I'm trying not to smile too much. Just had a message come through from Nationwide. We're pleased to let you know we've issued a mortgage offer. So that's good. We've had an offer accepted on the house for a few weeks now, and the valuation survey was today. So Nationwide said as long as the valuation's okay, we can issue you a mortgage offer. And we've just got, I literally just got a text from Nationwide today, just sent it to Gonzo, just saying we've issued you a mortgage offer. So hopefully, fingers crossed, all goes well in the next couple of months. We could have a new house for Christmas. I'll have my own room. I won't be sharing the office anymore.
I'll fire on those Christmas jumpers. You might have somewhere to put them. That's what I say.
They're gone. I've got plans for that room. I'm going to have a tally on the wall, everything. So yeah, that's good news. So hopefully the survey is going all right as well. But yeah, happy days. Woo! Fuck West Ham. I've had a good deadline day.
You have had a good deadline day. Yeah.
But yeah, we're buzzing with the house. It's a It's a nice house, isn't it? The back garden's just
Huge. It's huge. It's
It's
bigger than the London
incredible.
Stadium, the back
It
garden.
is it's honestly incredible. I can't wait to have that garden as my back garden. It is absolutely stunning. So
It would take Guido Rodriguez a year to run the length of that garden.
actually would as well. We've been making jokes about it being a different postcode and stuff. And like I said to her, so if I'm in the kitchen and she's at the back of the garden, I'm gonna need like flags they have at airports to
Practically
communicate.
divorced so far. Yeah.
I can't wait. Anyway, yeah. So good news for me. So I'm not very happy about West Ham's transfer business, but I'm going to be smiling for the rest of the show. So I apologise. Yeah, did you see the news? We've signed someone for the academy, by the way.
No, I didn't. Oh no.
Yeah,
No.
we've signed Dimitri Kalua from Paris FC, Mohamedou Conte's former club. 19-year-old comes in on a 4-year contract. He was someone recommended to David Sullivan and is seen as someone with potential.
Excellent.
Yes. So,
what could possibly go wrong, eh?
Yeah, he's
Happy days. Merry Christmas again.
Sullivan's had a wink and a nudge.
He's had a what?
A wink and a nudge.
Oh, a wink. A wink. Sorry.
Yeah, you guys know before her, unless she's watching it. She doesn't know yet.
Well, she's probably still fuming about those Christmas jumpers, to be
She
fair.
probably
Might
is.
balance it up a bit.
Well, she's actually fuming because it's Grace's bedtime 11 minutes ago, and I told her she can't come to bed because I'm doing a transfer deadline day show. And when she went to complain, I said, hang on a minute. Hammer's Chat's been around for 10 years, and we've been doing deadline day shows since 10 years. This has been a thing before you were a thing.
Yeah, great. Grace has been around 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Get your priorities straight. Right.
Completely. Hammer's Chat, then the wife, and then Grace. So
give them both a Christmas jumper. Got 2 left.
I'm hoping there's none left. She can have a Lucas Paqueta print, maybe.
There you go.
She can have that. And I won't nip down and tell her she's back at work. She's a teacher, so she's back at work today. So I think she's in a bit of a bad mood. She's going through this. I don't know what you would call it. There must be a word for it when mums are apart from their kids for the first time. There must be like a term.
Oh, like when you send the kids to school.
Separation anxiety.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think she's got a little bit of separation anxiety today.
Yeah, of course.
Bear with a sore head this morning trying to have breakfast. Fucking hell, that was a task. I was pleased when she went out the front door. I got peace and quiet. I could breathe again. I was too scared to breathe this morning, as if it's my fault that Grace is attending nursery and she's got to return to work as a teacher. But anyway, Gonzo, West Ham transfer business is looking likely it's Igor. You weren't listening. We had a Brighton fan on. He just said he's crap. And honestly, he said I asked him to score him 1 to 10.
Yeah,
1 being bad, 10 being excellent. He gave it a 3, and I think he was upping the score as well. Yeah, that was him being nice. Charles has got some statistics here for us. For Igor, saying 1% for tackles, 1% for blocks, 2% for aerial duels, but 99% for blocks. What a freak!
Hold on. So not a low block. What is that?
Right,
like
okay.
He's got his chest or something?
Can you see the live chat? Can you see the live chat?
I bet I need to change my glasses. It's a bit of a blur. But...
You interact with the live chat, and I'm gonna go and get those statistics for Igor, and I will explain them to you.
There you go. Well, what I will say is it's a cruise live. As I said, there are 2,000 people watching, which we really appreciate. If you are watching, maybe you can subscribe to the channel, please. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up.
Promote the other one.
I was gonna say, I'll ring the bell. You could do all 3 if you really wanted to. That would be very, very nice.
Where's the bell?
The bell is underneath. I don't know whether it's underneath me or Gio, next to the subscribe button.
In terms of left and right, though, where is it?
I can't see it, mate.
I think it's on the end.
We've
got a bell end. If you go underneath Gonzo, there's a bell end.
There definitely is.
Click on the bell end.
if you're lucky. Idrissa Gay to Udinese. We were after him. I think the biggest disappointment for me with the transfer window is that we haven't gone and got a striker. I think for me. The news on Igor, I must say this. So on Patreon, so in the chat, somebody shared a video of Igor's best bits, if you pardon the expression. And the very first bit, it don't matter how much dance music you put to this guy's clips. The first clip was a pass that was about 5 yards. And I thought, I'm not sure that's really worth sort of clipping and making into a montage. And then it was the most, you know, how sometimes you say you can sometimes make a montage and make anyone look like Pele, right? You could film me down a park, and if you clipped it all right, I'd look half decent footballer.
Hey, we've got a clip of you looking like that. At Upton Park, you did a little flick.
I did a little flick. Yeah. On the pitch. Yeah.
You miscontrolled it and then did a flick to make it look like.
That's exactly what happened.
Gonzo's trying to do keepy ups or kick ups or whatever you call them. I call them keepy ups. And it went over his right shoulder, but he managed to sort of get his foot up and hit it with his heel.
I turned a miscontrol into a rainbow flick, pretty much. So yeah, it was good stuff. So yes, if you clip there, you'd think, oh, there's like Ronaldinho's mate. No, but I didn't see this with Igor's best bits. So
Pardon?
Yeah. His best bits.
No.
It's a different video.
Anyway, I've got some statistics here. Right. So this is Igor compared to the top 5 European leagues, as well as the Champions League and the Europa League. So 7 different competitions. And this is done in terms of percentiles. So he's in the top 99 percentile for blocks. So Charles is right. So it's essentially the top 1% for blocks per 90 minutes. He's up there. He is the best in European football. The one next to it there is the tackles and interceptions. We're looking at the pink ones at the bottom here. Okay. The number 7 position. Tackles and interceptions, as you can see, he's in the first percentile. So he does no tackles or interception. He's the worst in European football. Percentage of dribblers tackled is also the 1%. Percentage of aerial duels won is 38. So it's not as bad as feared. He does win some headers, but as you can see, the top right, and this is him being compared to centre backs, I should just stress, top right there in terms of his possession-based statistics, he's actually quite good. So in terms of his passing, progressive passes, he's in the 82nd percentile. His progressive carries, so dribbling with the ball, he's in the 74th. Successful take-ons in 89, so he's good with the ball, but just defensively, I mean, tackles and interceptions, he's literally in the worst 1% of European football. So that's Igor's statistics for you.
Yeah. That's not a data-driven approach, is it, for this guy, you'd think? It just sounds like an emergency, hurried, desperate thing. But it is a bit weird, because why were Palace after him? Because it looks like that's caused them all manner of bother. Maybe they just wanted the blocks and the chance creation, which were the 2 outstanding things on there. I don't know. Look, ultimately, I'm not too bothered about him. That doesn't, because I don't think he'll play. He's basically going to be like the 4th choice central defender. And I hope we play with 4 at the back. If we play with 3 at the back, I'll be more worried about it. But I haven't seen him play apart from that glorious music with interlaced with dance music earlier. I've not really seen him play. I can't imagine he'll play very much, if at all, actually. So yeah, a bit of cover there. I'm as I say, I'm more disappointed that we didn't get the centre forward done, and I'm a bit more. Yeah, so no Rodriguez. Rodriguez hasn't gone. We haven't heard that, have we? He's not gone. Irving's not gone.
Nope.
So yeah, I think it was right. That's why it's good for Lewis Orford to go out. And I don't know if anybody's got any update on the Watford deal for
I had a look at the journalist. He's only got 500. I think it's maybe a bit of a troll. He's got 500 followers. Either it's an incredible exclusive,
amazing,
or it's someone trolling. It's one of the two, and there's no in between. But there's nothing coming from ex-West Ham employee and stuff. There's absolutely nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the Potts thing's not true, but
yeah. But anyway, I think X would know it because he's got all the contacts with the youth team and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's good at the academy stuff.
Yeah,
he has been over it. Now, someone asked, and I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Daniel said, "Can you do the same for Souček so we can put to bed how bad he is?" Now, I've got it. Grouch is saying X has said Potts has turned down a loan and he's staying with the team. So that's what Grouch is claiming that X has said. Right, so I've gone and got the Souček wheel for you. So this is Thomas Souček compared to other midfielders in the top 5 leagues of European football, plus Champions League and the Europa League. So the defensive ones, which is the pink ones, you can see very, very strong. He's one of the best in European football when it comes to clearances, very strong at blocks, aerial duels won, tackling his dribblers. He's really strong at that. His non-penalty goals, look at that, 97th percentile. He's one of the best goal-scoring midfielders in the last 12 months in European football. His possession stuff, though, is, well, it's non-existent, really. It's little dots on the screen. Progressive carries, the 2nd percentile, so effectively the worst 2% of European football. His pass completion's low. His passes attempted, the 10th percentile. It's not great reading possession-wise for Thomas Souček, unfortunately, in that regards. Defensively, fantastic. Goal scoring, incredible. In possession,
I think there's nothing. There's no
tough reading.
surprise there. There's no surprise there at all. I mean, I don't think anyone's claiming he's a complete player. There's some outstanding stuff on there and some crap stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, and that is Thomas Souček. But, you know, what I would suggest is there is no stat on there. 2 of the goals he was involved in yesterday. 2 of the goals with his scrapping. You know, that for the last goal, that counter attack, you know, he was crucial. What he did was crucial in that, and for the first goal as well. So because 100%. It was like 2, they were scrappy, because it was just him scrapping, and he stuck a foot out and he basically deflected it onto, you know, one of our other players, and, you know, got the foot in there. It's 2 passes before the goal, so there's just no stat there. So look, you know, we can't, as I've said, we can't afford to get rid of a player like that. Do I want him started? No. But he'll have his role to play this season, and he'll score an important goal or 2. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was absolutely magnificent yesterday, and like you said, statistics won't reflect.
No.
All of that. Grouch said it's earthy, not Potts. Bloody hell, Grouch. So it's X is in earthy's not going anywhere, but he hasn't said anything about Potts. So, right, Brian said, can you get James Ward-Prowse? I've gone and got James Ward-Prowse for you all. Here you go. It's quite good, actually. So we'll add the context to the green stuff in just a second. So the beige stuff, which is in possession, his pass completion is really good. We knew it would be. He's hitting 90+% every game. His progressive carry still is really bad. Successful take-ons, literally nothing. There's nothing there. He's in the worst 1% of European football. His progressive passes, 33rd percentile, which I think is a lot of people's complaints that he doesn't pass forward. Statistically, that would back that theory up, but he's heavily involved. His touches are there. If you look at the defensive side of his game, which is the bottom part, blocks are non-existent. His tackles and interceptions are really low. Percentage of aerial duels won is quite high, but if you only contest 5 a season and win 3 of them, it's going to be high. So that's done as a percentage rather than a quantity, which may explain why that looks very abnormal. Then when you have a look at the green stuff, what's important here is this will include set pieces. And as James Ward-Prowse takes the majority of our set pieces, if you have a look at yesterday against Nottingham Forest, in the first half, Fulkrug won headers at 2 corners in the first half. That will count towards shot-creating actions. So the expected assists, that counts towards that. So it looks like he's this incredible creative player, but that includes set pieces. So every time a West Ham player wins a header at a corner, that statistics move. Non-penalty goals is fine. It looks, I can't even remember him scoring much, but apparently he must have scored a few because he's looking okay for that. But that will explain why that side of the chart looks so good. It's down to the set pieces. So it's stats wise, it looks okay to some extent. But
I mean, you know, but yeah, unfortunately, you know, massive eye test on there. Really, I think unlike Souček, he's not really supplying anything that changes the course of a game, and that was really why he was signed to get that corner over to score that free kick. That's actually stopped happening. So yeah, if he's not doing that stuff, then you can almost take anyone and put him in his position, and they'll be able to do what he can do if you ask him to pass it safe. But hopefully they can excel at something else as well. I hope to see him in the team less. I really do now.
I just want to say thank you to 4 people. Thank you to Berkshammer. Says congratulations to Gio and Mrs. Gio. Jack saying, top on the mortgage. Good things come to good people. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Adam, as well, for £2 super chat saying, fabulous news, Gio and family. Congratulations. And Ben as well. Thank you very much. Thanks to you guys. There's no adverts on the video tonight. Tonight's video is advert free to try and improve it for the viewers so that you don't have to put up with anything. Gonzo's phone's going. Is this West Ham news? Have you just got
I just checked. It wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was my son saying, "Can we get something to eat when you finish, please?" There you go.
What are you having?
I don't know. He started college today, and so he got the train there and back and all the rest of it. So I said he can. Well, within reason, I said I'm not going to take him to the Ritz or something. I said he can have what he wants. So we'll see. Yeah, I've not cooked anything.
5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. Mulch is saying that you need to do a bong sound at 7 p.m. You've got to do a bong sound. You've got a 5-minute warning.
I can honk a duck or something or a bone.
You're going to honk a duck.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You can do another honk a duck then. Brian, yes, we do ship overseas. You've got to be patient with the foreign orders though, because I've got to go to the post office, and when it's raining, I can't go due to my ears. My ears would break, so you're gonna have to be patient. So yes, we will. It is expensive. Can't help it. Posted something to Australia the other day, 35 quid. We charge people 25 quid. We lost £10 on the postage for sending that parcel to Australia. So it's as cheap as we can make it without taking the piss out of either of us. Have you seen that comment about you in the pub? I don't know if it's like trolling you or that, but did you drink in the pub back in Ilford?
Well, not that pub. I used to drink in a Valentine, which is in Gantsill, but I don't know.
No, you always out on the piss. You are.
I'm not. Yeah, but no. That was a no. I used to. But I had a couple of pints. It's not there anymore in the Dick Turpin.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Very, very quickly. Thank you to Paul saying towards your housewarming. What housewarming? To be fair, I don't know. I might do something.
Paul's inviting himself.
Yeah. Are you coming? Are you coming to my housewarming?
Me?
Yeah. There's fucking loads of room in the back garden.
I know. I'll get my rugby tent.
GP for me, it's Stell, West Ham voice of Gonzo, hot crumpet. And also, Chris, thank you for the $10, and Grouch as well for making an error. You don't have to pay if you make an error. It's not the end of the world. And Jake wants to know if you're going to see you hit a bong live.
Hold on. I've not got any bong. I think I did. I must have just made a sound or something. I've not got much. I've got a little squeaky. I've got one of these. But it sounds a bit pathetic, doesn't it, really? But I've got a duck. There's a duck. I can see the duck there, other side of that door. That makes a good sound, like a farting sound, really.
Yeah, is Zippy not there to bark for us at 7 o'clock?
Oh, he is not in a good way. He jumps in a muddy puddle. It's been raining. He is disgusting, actually.
Well, he barked earlier and gave me a fright when we were trying to do the...
I know, he gave us all a fright, yeah.
When we were doing the show. Right then, last call. Giblets, just the packet print is A4. It will be an A4 print on photo, like quality paper. It's really good. If anyone's had a print off us before, you'll know it's good quality. Let me just pop it up one more time. Here it is. Cantown Line painted it. Someone's bought the painting, but you can get a print of it, and it's only available on Hammer's Chat store right now, and it comes down tonight. I'll take a cup of it. But if you haven't already checked out the store, please do. I don't know what's left. We might have some T-shirts left regarding Prague and stuff, but do go have a look because I want all of it gone. And if anything's not gone, I don't know what we'll do. I don't really want to bin it, but we'll have to do something. I don't want them here anymore. They need to be gone, Gonzo. Gonzo, I need them gone.
Get them gone.
They're not coming to the new house.
They might be.
No, they're not. They're not going to the new house. What we got? The Irons on Tour T-shirt. That's in the sale. I need that gone. Go have a look. We might have it in your size. Out of here. All the T-shirts are on sale one way or another. They're not all clearance. So the Who design's on sale. Stone Roses on sale. The Irons on Tour is on clearance because I need them gone. Women's polo shirts. If you're a female, we had complaints, right? This is one thing that's pissed me off.
If you're a female.
Yeah, if you're a female. It's a women's fitted polo shirt, right?
Nice.
But sometimes we used to put up stuff and people say, females would say, have you got any female fitted ones? No, we don't. We went and got female fitted polo shirts. We've sold one.
No one bought
One.
I know.
One.
Yeah.
We've sold one. Anyway, they're on sale as well. Anyway, gone at 7 o'clock. Have you got your? That's it.
There you go.
There you go. The transfer window
That's it. It's officially closed.
is officially closed. Did we get Igor?
I hope not. I don't know. Did he get? That is the official thing. Did they get the medical done before the honk or the quack?
Let's find out and see if there's Let's see if there's any updates from anyone reliable. Let's see if we've got anything to do with Igor.
You want to get that geezer with 500 followers? He's just making up stuff. He'll tell us something interesting. He'll keep us entertained. I might unhonk the transfer window.
Fabrice Hopkins, who's a French journalist, and he's all right actually. Fabrice is saying Disasi will not be signing for West Ham. That was 3 minutes ago. So he's claiming Disasi is not happening. So it does feel a bit like it's Igor or nothing at present. Have we signed Igor? Have we got in this? It's a very underwhelming end to the window, Gonzo. Jacob Steinberg tweeted 7 minutes ago saying it looks like it will be Igor Julio to West Ham on loan. They have also been in talks with Chelsea over Disasi.
Yeah, I think both of them are pretty underwhelming, really. I think everybody wanted Cresswell, really, didn't they? That would have been the one to get. As you would have thought we were building something for the future. But I got to say, I was buzzing to get Fernandez. I did not. That was a guy that I wanted at the start of the window. So I'm really pleased we got him. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a really, really good player. So yeah, and I don't think whichever centre back we get, if we play with four at the back, the first choice is going to be Todibo anyway. So whether it's Igor or Disasi, or I don't think we're going to see much of them, to be fair.
He's left-sided. Igor's left-sided.
Yes.
He's left-footed.
Yes, I saw he did some impressive 5-yard passes with his left foot. So I guess he covers that. But then you've got Magassa has probably played more of his career at centre back, hasn't he? Done thingy. So, but that wouldn't be great because you know what's going to be happening if we end up having to play him at centre back. You know what's happening in midfield. So they'll wheel out old Speedo Rodriguez again, won't they?
Yeah, I mean he's still here. Irving's still here, so neither of those went. So that looks like what our transfer business is going to be. Still nothing official, and I say official, I mean by the reliable journalists. There's still nothing coming from them about Igor. One would assume that it's gone okay.
So did that actually have the knock-on effect that Liverpool didn't sign Gahey?
I think they're still signing Gahey. I think.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think that's what's happening. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, Gonzo. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I feel like I'm in a good mood, not just because of the mortgage stuff. Prior to the mortgage stuff, I was in a good mood because of the win yesterday.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I woke up today feeling good. We'd done player ratings. It was nice to discuss good performances from the majority. However, I'm sort of snapping back into sort of like bigger picture here. We were crap for 3 games, right? We've had 1 good game and 3 crap ones. The squad, I'm not convinced is up to it. I think we're still short. We've got 2 strikers. Well, we've got 3. The third one's Callum Marshall. We've got 2 strikers in Fulkrug and Wilson, both who are injury prone. Now, Fulkrug hasn't looked good this season. Wilson has looked good. But I feel like we're relying on those 2 for this season. And I think that's very risky. Just from a fitness aspect, never mind an ability one. So yeah, I'm a bit worried. I thought coming into today, I thought if we could get a good centre back in. Bear in mind, we've just received 18 million from Marseille for a Gerd. Surely there's money there to spend. But, you know, our net spend, Hammer 99 commented earlier, which is that it's about just over 50 million is our net spend, and that's including Todibo. So it's not.
Oh,
much.
right. I was going to say, yes. If you take Todibo out of it, it's about 20 million. I'd looked earlier. Yeah.
Which is not.
No.
Not good. No. Andy is saying that a Gerd has been confirmed by Marseille, and Michael Levy Jr. is saying Igor loan deal sheet is in, so he's not done. We've looks like we're into the extension part of the transfer window now. So we've put the required. Yeah, West Ham have submitted a deal sheet for Igor Julio. So basically, we've now got an extension to get this done. So we put it in saying that we want to make it happen. Deals agreed between the two clubs. We now just need to get this finalized. Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
I just see madness. You just leave all this stuff right until the last minute anyway. I still maintain that we completely lost out on the first two games. We didn't get our transfer business done early enough. It's it's crazy, really, absolutely crazy. And I mean, ultimately, this one doesn't matter because I don't think he could even play really. But it is just madness, all this scrambling around and getting your loan sheet in so you can get this last deal over the line. Look, hopefully we've signed some good players, and I think we possibly haven't seen Magassa play, of course, and I certainly am pleased with Walker Peters. I think Diouf looks like he's going to be a real player, and I'm really pleased with Fernandez. So I think we have brought in some good players, and we've definitely lowered the age of the squad. But the striker thing is an issue, because what happens is the reason it looked good was, and we discussed this earlier on Patreon when we did our player ratings. We had good fullbacks with good wingers, so we were dangerous down the side. But once Somerville came on, I mean, had real potency down the left, real potency down the right as well. Little problem with the strikers, you know what he's going to do. He's going to move Bowen off that right, and then we sort of lack that potency again. So I think that's the other thing that bringing in a striker does. Bringing in a striker keeps Bowen where you want him, really, over there on the right. So yeah, I think that's the one thing I would have done almost before any other today. But yeah, anyway, there you go. We'll just have to see how it goes now, won't we? You'd bloody well hope though that there's money to spend in January. That's all I'd say, because I looked earlier and I thought, okay, well we've spent about 90 and we brought in 70. So but I hadn't included, and it was very, very rough figures. I hadn't included Tadibo because it's just cheating. I can't include Tadibo. It was last season's signing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, are you able to interact with the live chat? I'm just doing one final thing before we go. I'm putting something together for a visual thing for us to have a look at.
Oh, this is interesting. So Connor's just said Gahey stays at Palace. I mean, which again makes that a weird. That's Palace fans would be delighted that we've stolen Igor, because it's meant that they keep their captain. Obviously scored a great goal, didn't he, against Villa as well. Steve says poor window, not enough brought in, and left with Deadwood that should be nowhere near the team. Is that right? Is that true? Antonio to Racing Club? Is that?
No idea. It's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah. Bobby says, I knew that we wouldn't strengthen today. Should only add numbers to the BS March. Get them fraudsters out. And Tids says, didn't the club say judge us at the end of the window? That they did. Yeah. There you go. And well, there you go. It's been a £20 million net spend. And I think that is, as I say, we can't include Tadibo. It's honestly, it feels fraudulent to do so. He was last season's player. Yeah, £20 million net spend. More could have been done, and it should have been, and what was done should have been done earlier. That's what I think about that.
Yeah, right. So if I've done this correctly, here we are. This is my tactics board I've been using in the opposition prediction, and at half-time on games on the watch-along, I've been pulling out the old tactics board. But this is what our squad is currently looking like. We've got Hermansen, Ariel, and Wes as our keepers. We've got Scarles and Diouf as our left-backs. Potentially Igor and Kilman, left centre-backs. Mavropanos and Tadibo as the right centre-backs. Got Walker Peters and Wan-Bissaka at right-back. Midfield, still got Rodriguez and Irving. They're still at the club. Freddie Potts is still here. We've still got Souček. Magassa has joined. Ward-Prowse is still here. Ahead of them in sort of number 10 players, we've got George Earthy, Lucas Paqueta, and Mateus Fernandez. We've got Somerville and Cornet as wingers, as well as Guilherme and Jared Bowen. And then the striking options, we've got Wilson, Marshall, and Fulkrug. I don't think I've missed anyone, have I?
No, I mean, you might have even arguably have added one in Cornet. So
So that's how our
that looks about right.
Looking. Yeah. Do you know? Oh, here we go. Usual suspect. I was just going to say this. Brownhill's at Wolves. I was always say I'd take Josh Brownhill now. You can still sign free agents as long as you've got the space. You've got to register who you've got, right? So we've got to register Maxwell Cornet now. You're not allowed to not register him and then say, "Oh, we've got a vacant space. Let's bring in a free agent."
Sure.
You've got to register who you've got, and if you've still got space, you can bring in a free agent. I believe that's how it works. But I would have taken in Josh Brownhill at this point now.
Yeah,
just
I
for
mean,
cover.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would have done, to be fair, just because I don't. He would have had, he would have had a worse response than Wilson. I think a worse. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but
people would have been furious because so many people said it's definitely going to happen. It's gonna,
I didn't want him, but at this point, it would be Brownhill or no one. I think I'd rather have Brownhill at this point. But not everyone would want him, and I understand why. But Ricky's saying, what's happened to the money taken from Barclays loan, but then selling 49% of the women's team?
Forget the Barclays loan. The women's team is because the Barclays owns a credit facility. If you don't draw on it, it's still there. The women's team that's the one. That's
like a 25 million. Because I think we valued them at 55 million.
Yep.
And they're getting 49%.
Yeah.
So whatever 49% of
that's the one.
55 is.
That is an excellent
27.4 million. That's, if my maths is right, if 49% of 55 million is 27.4 million, I think, roughly thereabouts. It's a lot of money. It's the club's just taking in for what? Just for cash flow, just for paying the bills, and we've drastically reduced our wage bill. Massively. I'd imagine.
Yeah, massively.
A lot of big earners have gone, and we've got in some cheaper wage players as well.
You seen this?
Yeah, I think he's on the verge of going to Saudi. I think Saudi are chucking money at him.
Really?
Yeah, so I think he's been offered like 150 grand a week or something to go to Saudi.
Fair enough.
Which.
Well, he's got to take it, isn't he? Let's be fair. He's got to take it.
I'd imagine he's a millionaire, Josh Brownhill, and all these properties he's been buying up.
Yes, that's true.
But I don't think he's been on more than 50 grand a week, say, in his entire career. So he'll be rich for me and you. But in terms of like a Premier League footballer, I'd imagine he's quite poor compared to other Premier League footballers. So I could understand why he's decided to go to Saudi and cash in. I get it. Sets his family up for life, doesn't it?
Sure.
But,
yeah.
Anyway, anything you'd like to add before we disappear?
No, not really. I mean, it's not been. I didn't expect to jump on a video and be, scrambling around and, jotting things down, all the rest of it, because we'd done loads of business. I didn't expect it today. I think look, we needed to win yesterday, and I'm glad we did. But it possibly did cost us doing anything a little bit more fruity today, So
I completely agree. Big 48 hours. We needed to beat Nottingham Forest, and we needed to have a good end to the window. We did the first thing. Potter did his job yesterday. Now it's up to Sullivan to do his job, and he's failed. Even if we get, and this is with the assumption we get Igor in. If that somehow doesn't go through, we're even worse off, right? Because he's still a body. I don't like him. I don't rate him. I think he's crap. But I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. I have been surprised so far with Callum Wilson. I thought he was crap, and so far it's looked good.
Yeah.
But with Igor, I'm not a big fan of him. I think he's looked poor when I've seen him at Brighton. He's not really a player that when I saw the link, I thought, oh, surely not. But it turns out it's true. I'm just frustrated because it feels like the Charlie Creswell one was there. We wanted it. It didn't feel like an unrealistic.
It didn't seem that expensive, really.
No, 17 million. It's not insulting. And it feels like we've taken a cheap option, and that's the frustrating thing. And it feels a bit like Sullivan's watched us yesterday and gone, oh, brilliant. Potter's cracked it. We don't need anyone. We'll be fine. Not the case. We've been dreadful in 75% of our games so far this season. I might not be able to do 49% of 55 million, but what I can do is 3 or 4. And I'm just a bit worried. I am worried. We didn't need loads of reinforcements today. 2 good signings today would have made a significant difference. We've literally just seen what good signings can do. Walker Peters, Hermansen, and Fernandez all had good games against Nottingham Forest. Callum Wilson came off the bench and scored a goal. We've seen what good signings can do. We had an opportunity to go do something today. We haven't. I'm very disappointed. I'm pissed off. Actually, disappointed has been kind. I'm pissed off. it's not good enough. I don't think it's been a good enough transfer window for us. I think we're light up front. We are relying on Fulkrug and Wilson to stay fit and to score goals. And I think that's a dangerous transfer strategy. Our defence so far has looked poor. And I think we've got in a centre back that doesn't even start for us.
Yeah.
What's the point? What's the point in that? Squad depth, I don't know. I'm not buying that. I just think it was an opportunity to bring in a good centre back that's good enough to knock Max Kilman out the team. Brilliant.
That's the key, isn't it?
We've brought in a centre back that's not even good enough to challenge Max Kilman. I think that's the frustrating thing for me. Just frustrated. Right.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
No. That's it. You can go to bed now. But early, but you know what I mean. That's what you meant to say, innit?
Yeah. Right then, I've got to go tell Lauren some good news and go get some tea and put Grace to bed. The store's going to be live for a couple of hours. It won't come down till late on tonight. If you want that Paqueta print, it looks like this. Go onto the store, click on the Everything Must Go. It's in there. There might still be a couple of other t-shirts and stuff that we need going as well. But a massive thank you to everyone that's been onto the store and purchased something. I'll get them all out as soon as I can. It might be posting days are Thursday. I'll get as much as I can go on Thursday, but it might be next Thursday your item goes, but it will be with you as soon as I can. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting out with me and Gonzo throughout the transfer window. We appreciate the support. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will be back tomorrow though. The transfer window might be closed, but Hammers Chat is not. If you've already dropped a like on the video, I appreciate you. If not, please do it now. Subscribe to Hammers Chat, myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.